WBG. We'll see if it's deserved as the game goes on. The draft, though, Fogs, what do you make of it?
It looks fun, especially if the game gets to these like later stages and stuff like that. It's a ton of team fight, of course, as we see coming out from XTREME. And it's a lot of comfort heroes. You know, Ame getting to play this Sven, one of the ones that he's played the most along with his Troll. Definitely looks interesting. It definitely looks like it could run into some problems early game, being able to fight back, because it does feel like Falcons have a little bit of that edge in the laning phase. But if they can slow pace the game down, this draft is great. This draft scales super hard, has great synergy, tons of team fight, tons of control. So it's going to be a fun one, I feel like. And it could be up to Falcons to dictate that pace, but they've been ramping things up a lot.
They have, yes, and their lineup definitely looks like it's, as you say, it's going to be ready to brawl at a moment's notice. Same for XGWBG. So we're going to see a lot of back and forth, a lot of action early on, I'm sure.
Yeah, I like that I'm seeing so much Jakiro lately, because this hero is great when people just run at you, and I feel like the meta is a lot of just running at you. You know, there's people are just constantly making these fights happen early on, and that's where Jakiro thrives, just sitting in the back, being able to spam the spells. We see the facets, of course, that are being taken. This time around, Jinkyu goes for the Liquid Fire. This one is one that we're seeing switched a little bit, but since he's playing for Jakiro, maybe he's wanting to be able to utilize that attack speed slow in this lane a little more.
Yeah, sure, and I guess, yeah, a bit of an extra attack speed slow down the line might keep that Supernova alive.
We'll see about that one, right?
In a game against Weaver and, you know, and Snapfire, might be a little hopeful, but...
Weaver, Snap, and a Legion, right? Even the Legion Dispel to be able to keep hitting stuff like that, so we'll have to see.
If UI gets off a good Supernova this game, then that's like some pretty top-tier stuff from him.
Absolutely.
If he's able to succeed with a Supernova in a game like this, it'll be very impressive. Whoa.
Almost dead immediately.
Okay. He did the calculations, he's fine.
He brought a salve immediately. He knew that this was going to be one of those lanes.
Absolutely. He's like, I'm going to stand very far up in the lane. I'm going to take a lot of damage, go down to about 30 HP, then I'm going to consume a salve, and I'm going to be okay. DY, he's got it under control.
They made this choice. So they chose the Jakiro, and they sent it top, and they know that this Phoenix is going to have a hard time. It's going to be difficult versus this mass physical damage that comes down from this little shredder that we've seen from now on. Because Phoenix, you're like a zero armor hero. Does have some stats to at least giving him that one, and you will have Ame to back him up at least with a stun to protect him. But see how mid goes? You know, as they're mentioning, I don't see XM able to really slow down Malrine.
No.
He's saying King's just able to push the lanes, but XM, as long as he's careful, should be pretty okay too. Yeah. But there is going to be some disables, of course, that he has to worry about in the early game, as they were mentioning. I think that's probably why we saw the CM come out from snaking. They wanted that max Frostbite. They kind of like maybe preemptively picked this one up versus that Storm, since it's one of his most played heroes.
Yeah, that definitely seems like a mid-lane matchup where the Storm will, as you say, farm fine, but he's not going to get carried away. If he starts to try and go for some sort of kill close to or underneath the Sandstorm, he's probably going to die.
He could die, yeah. If he makes,
he's got to play it careful. If he dies in that lane, it's completely his own fault.
Yes, he shouldn't. He shouldn't. He should just spam the remnants. And I'm checking to see the stacks. I mean, they didn't block these camps, so we're probably going to see both these mid laners just thrive off of that as well too. Let's see how Ame handles the pressure down here. Immediately skills Warcry too, since he's playing versus this high physical lane, and he's got DY. He's got this Phoenix low armor. Seen a couple people getting the cleave a little bit earlier, but definitely not in this lane. This is going to be a harder one for Ame to start off here. And I would say in both of these lanes, right? The top lane is also quite oppressive that Falcons has gone for. They've been doing this lane a lot. Just CM plus Weaver, super strong timings are on level 2. So 2 lanes that should go quite well for Falcons, it feels like.
Sure. And overall, have you been liking Sven as a carry right now in this patch, you know, compared to some of the other options? You know, why do you feel some teams do gravitate towards the Sven right now?
He just catches up super fast, and to be honest with you, especially what we saw the other day from Nightfall, this hero's damage, you can never count him out. If you're able to get items online and you just get like 1 or 2 cleaves on a stun target, it's boom, right? We saw like 2K crits or something coming out. So,
and you feel like the pace of the game in general right now does serve well towards a hero that has this sort of ultimate longer cooldown that you're looking to fight around the most of the time. Like, Sven's unlikely to get punished in the downtime between his god strengths.
He feels good because he's also just very flexible. That's what I've been seeing, right? We've been seeing a lot of the 5 position Svens too, so I think it just allows him to be picked more and just transition and be that carry as well too. I wouldn't call him the best carry at the moment, though.
No, he's a bit of a jack of all trades.
Yeah, he fits.
He can carry and he can support. You know, feels great to pick.
Yeah.
So that mid-draft area.
He just has an issue too, where right now I feel like a lot of the really good carries that we've been seeing, the Troll and the Ursa and stuff, are very good versus him.
They are, yeah. They're kind of surprised that indeed it has become a patch where he is pretty relevant in the safe lane position. This game up against what the Weaver, and as we see at the start on the CS, it's exactly as you say, where
he's going to struggle.
He's having a rough one. Only 12 last hits to be found down on his lane. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Skeeter, he's 22 and 4 on the safe lane Weaver.
He's not going to be contested at all.
No, I mean, this is one of those dream that, honestly, any kind of Weaver plus like some support that can play aggressive with setup, it's an easy lane. It's a free lane, right? And also, there's potential for kills.
And he's playing, it's not a traditional kind of thing, it's a 4G hero. You know, this tends to be played more so inside that safe lane. It's not a hero that can get too aggressive as a 4 position, so Weaver should be pretty fine overall. We're definitely going to see those lanes at least pretty ahead there for Falcons.
Yeah, as we say now, XM, if he steps up, he'll take a lot of damage in this mid lane matchup. But as you can see on the CS so far, he's been playing it great. They're getting a completely even trade of farm in that mid lane. 29 and 4 on both right now.
Yeah, something I've been actually mentioning to a couple people that I've realized is Stinger doesn't give stick charges for some reason, Owen. I'm not sure why this ability doesn't give sticks.
I mean, they just didn't get to that bit of the code yet.
Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one. I always
just have one more line. That'll fix it.
I've been like, I've just been watching so many of these Sanking games, and I'm just like, wow, it really just doesn't. So, rotation's coming out.
Maybe it just doesn't give you stick charges.
Thanks. Very nice. XM is getting beat on pretty hard here. The rotation top, they got sniped.
They have. They're able to dive in close towards the tower in with the trample. That'll be first blood here for XGWBG.
Snake tapped up a little bit too far there. I believe Skeeter was attempting a pull or something like that, and they'll get the kill. A nice kill, and a needed one up there, just to be able to secure XXS a bit more CS. His farm isn't bad, but...
And honestly, a bit of a long time coming, right? 5.5 minutes in.
It's a slower one.
That we had to wait until we got that first blood and play. Yep, and Skeeter not able to find anything in return. They've got the 2 supports here.
They've got great lane position now for XXS, too, so he should catch up pretty close, at least, to versus that leading commander. He's going to have like 2 full waves coming in. Skeeter will pull, so lane will get reset a little bit, but power runes, the more important thing. Level 6 is hit on the Storm, level 6 on Malrine.
Yeah, XM's been doing really well. He's definitely making a case for if these mid-sankings, as you'd expect him to do,
and he got a regen
through. And they're going to try and burst him through the frostbite in the burrow strike. The cookie, it's a lot of stun, and it is enough to take XM down. Dive forward, see if they can take out Malrine in return. Xingqiu stepping up, he'll find him, but they're going to lose DY. Almost certainly lose Xingqiu as well. It's going to bring down Snakey. He's got the ice path and another dual breath to throw down on the Crystal Maiden. I mean, Xingqiu's kind of doing it here. Is Snakey going to tick out? He's not. He's a little... My goodness, Snake living on the edge there as he steps back up. They take Xingqiu down. Snake survives. Top lane, straight in onto the Weaver. Great setup there, and follow-up coming in from Arme with his stun on the Sven. I mean, they can push the tier 1 tower here.
Sure can. I'd love to see. I mean, he takes a page out of Skeeter's book and shows up behind him. I think Skeeter's the one who tends to do that 6 to 8 minute rotation, mostly. Arme comes in and finds him and can go back down bottom as well if he'd like to keep the farm going. Is getting slowed down on that Sven, but the Weaver now got slowed down massively. Nice move. But does mean that Amar now a free lane.
Now we see the outcome at the mid matchup. Indeed, Marion getting there slightly faster, but only by a little bit. I think, yeah, as I was going to say, you know, XM will report he's done on the Storm in that matchup, making a case for in the future Storm definitely to be a good hero to consider when you know you're going up against this mid Sand King pick. By the looks of it, you play it correctly, you're going to get just as much farm, and you're not going to end up feeding in the matchup.
He did, however, hit 6 and die instantly. So galvanized stacks.
That's true.
Did get affected a little bit, which kind of stinks, but
you know. There's a lot of heroes mid, you know. What can he do? Sometimes you get ganked by, you know, everybody.
They chain stunned perfectly, and I did want to highlight that Malrine, we've seen a lot of different builds on the Sand Kings. I've seen the Max Sandstorm, I've seen 0-4-4 a couple games. He's putting more points in stun because he's playing versus that Storm. Immediately you see what happens because of it, because they have the chain stun, so. Ame will go back through that portal to top to keep pressuring, but bottom tower is getting quite a hefty amount of damage also.
Top's already gone. He's able to help finish it off. And these sort of rotations and moves have really managed to equalize for now the farm and the 2 carries, right? We saw earlier how much more Arme was struggling in getting the last hits in lane. Now we're at a point, they're dead even. It's beautiful. Now it was there for a moment. I'm sure you guys and girls at home caught it, but they were dead even.
They were. Shield rune popped. Low on mana.
Oh, good cookie, but TP's coming in. Burrow strike and the little shredder. He's got enough to zip to the side. XM, he gets caught by the frostbite. They take him out. The support's come in the ice path. A little bit off the mark there. Not able to catch Malrine as Malrine, he drops a tip and he walks his way out.
Stinger with Shredder does an absurd amount of damage, even in low, like what, it's level 2, it's level 3 Shredder, okay, fair enough, but My goodness, the physical burst that came out onto a Storm. He took half his HP in one stinger. I mean, that's why we're seeing this hero, of course, so much, this Sand King, but a great rotation again, shutting down the Storm. A 3K lead out of nowhere.
Yeah, that did kind of just come out of nowhere. And the lad at the top of it all, Amar, on the Legion, having a great time. Picking up the farm. It's going to be a very quick blade mail. So he gets the pick up hit, and indeed a lot of lockdown. Frostbite into the...
Look at the damage.
I mean...
Ready? Boom!
What can you do? Poor XM there. No further way to play his way out of that one. And that was, yeah, through a freshly picked up shield wound. That was how much damage and lockdown they had. It's an easy first duel here for Amar. Steps up. Able to grab DY and start to build up that bonus damage here on the Legion. Yeah, and back out of that top spot. Level with Malorine's amount of farm.
And back-to-back deaths for the Storm. Quite hurt. These galvanized stacks, they do matter. They do matter, especially in the early game, being able to make the rotations. And the panel was saying they wanted to see the Storm have that good early game to be able to open up the map so that the Sven can get the farm and stuff like that. XM, so we got to be addressed a little bit here after these last few moves. And dying a Storm when you're versus that many disables can start to compound, because Frostbite's going to start to get maxed as well from snaking. They're going to have the extra control. And yeah, Amar is... He's having an absolutely free game on this Legion Commander. And he is the answer, of course, versus that Sven. Having a 1,000 difference versus him, this blade mail is going to be super early. Maximizing, too. Pulling into the neutrals here nicely.
Yeah, blade mail is going to be pretty much done with this creep wave.
Yep. And they're going to have a blink on Malrine that comes pretty soon along with it, too. While on the side of on the side of Extreme, their initiation is going to be a bit lacking. It might be XM like forced to make initiations early as the Storm.
He's caught in the smoke here, so they do want to try and make a move around XM. Looking to choose to play aggressively rather than sit back and try and allow XM to get that first item farmed up.
This could be risky. I'm a little worried that the Storm does die like once or twice more. He needs to start getting some galvanized stacks at least to control a bit of that mid game.
A little early, right? Because both supports, of course, yet to hit the 6, so they don't have these ultimates to play with. I mean, Amar, you're not going on this Legion.
He's got Lotus, he's got the cookie behind him. There's no level 6 on the snap, but it's about to be hit from crit as well.
Yeah, nothing to happen with this smoke.
No. And he just pulls...
farming, really. They've just got to allow XM to get his timings.
At least they take away, I believe, what was a triple stack there. XXS able to take that one away, get some farm. And Ame, with the slow pace, is able to keep crawling up, and he farms very fast as the Sven, as we were saying, versus the Weaver. Should be able to keep a good pace.
For sure, yeah. Him and Skeeter sort of at a similar point. It's just really the difference between the other cores in play, right? Mallory with this sort of start. It's going to be tricky for XM to catch up. Sand King farming incredibly fast and also just providing a lot of offensive potential, and just a bit more beefy than the Storm. He's got a lot more survivability diving into the team fights, and he's very ready to...
He's got Blink.
And yeah, indeed, the two of them.
Blink on Sand King. They've got the kisses at the ready on crit. They want to find a big catch, and they may actually find Ame here. They're scouting him.
This would be quite a nice catch. See how safe Ame plays.
He saw Skeeter. That sentry potentially saving his life right there.
I mean, they might dive into the triangle, so if they can get something here instead. The DY's got the dive away.
They'll see some juicy stacks.
Marine still under the cover of the smoke. Might be able to still make something happen. It will come to an end now.
Gets himself a rune. They're looking to... I mean, they look like they kind of want to contest these stacks a bit here because they have these ultis at the ready.
Middle tower is under attack.
But actually also has their ults ready. Long jump from XM.
He's looking at Amar, but Amar just isn't really a target they can go for right now.
Could just get turned and dueled and die potentially.
Absolutely.
And they're taking the stack during that downtime.
Oh, that's a juicy amount of ancient creeps here. They get them all.
All it takes is 1 second. You look away.
That's a big ouch there for XGWBG losing that stack.
Ame's like, no, guys, defend them, please. XM.
Radiant's middle
couple of these moves now hurting. All the Falcons prepared for this tower. Difficult to hold. Marine.
Try and slow the push with the Macropire, but this tower is very likely to go down regardless. Fortification already used. They're stepping up. They get the opening. Amar's not quite able to close over the duel. He's going to, take a nice one around the ice path. It doesn't mean the Supernova goes off, but indeed the Supernova in this sort of game is going to stand no chance. They'll jump towards Amar, but he got the blade mail off in time. And now he's ready to lift the duel. They'll just duel the Primal Beast. The burst right from Aaron comes in across towards you. The kisses coming in. Xingqiu to fall. They've lost 3. Maybe more. I mean, Falcons, they're considering diving the tier 2. Barry, he's definitely wants to dive the tier 2. Gets in quick. Caught by the stun. Immediately removed, though, by Amar. And they're able to retreat safely. The Falcons, they lose nobody. XGWBG, they lose 3 heroes. And another successful duel in the midst of it all for Amar. Everything continues to look up for Falcons.
Extreme just really wanted to linger around trying to defend this and ended up losing quite a lot out of it here, committing into the fight even with the Primal Beast. But there's just too much constant damage. Malrine able to get his ulti off, the kisses come in too, and there's no macro pyre, the egg is gone. They don't really have any, the support contribution after that point.
Wow.
That is rough. It's a 6K lead. Falcons had concerns about the mid game, that quick early game that they're trying to set, and so far they're doing it perfectly. They even have a blink now on Amar too to play even more aggressive.
Yeah, these are crazy timings.
It's fast.
A minute and a half faster than the average.
Anybody he catches is pretty much dead now at this point. And Skeeter, now with his farming item, he's got the Maelstrom, so he's going to be able to keep pace or keep ahead of the Sven now too. Ame tried to join in for the fight there.
Haste!
Yeah, we're seeing more, the CM pick, it definitely fits for these really strong mid-game skirmishes that they're doing there, because even the freezing field on top of the kisses is just so much AoE damage that these heroes can't really walk into early. Primal Beast, one of the tankiest heroes in the game, and you just saw how fast XXS melted walking into all this magical.
And here's the blink reveal. They get it with the setup, and Amar gets the damage. 100% success rate so far with his duels, Amar.
Having a flawless game. And now they keep pairing up. They don't even need the ults really at this point to get a duel win. He can actually just get them himself or just with any type of spell follow-up. Doesn't need those ults early. So for Extreme, they're slowing down the pace of the game until XXS has BKB is probably the next thing that they want to do, because I feel worried for this Primal Beast walking into all these fights. He just feels very vulnerable pre-BKB now at this point. Too much magic damage.
I guess the problem is, though, he can still die through that BKB.
Absolutely.
It will be something, but it's not going to be too crazy.
It'll allow him to get a decent initiation at the least off,
Sure,
right?
he can get in, he can grab someone.
Yeah. He'll have to worry about the attack save in particular versus the pulverize and stuff, but it can let him at least get a decent combo off with his trample and decent amount of damage.
Oh, they're in onto DY. DY, has he got any escape?
No chance.
He has not, doesn't want to pop the supernova there. It's a tough game to be a Phoenix. I mean, this is, I guess, kind of what happens when you do pick the Phoenix first, though, Fog, right?
And they did, I thought perhaps they might send it as like a 4, even though sometimes that's also bad when it's so addressed. But then picking this Jakiro, too, feels like they're kind of falling into a position where they have these 2 5 positions. The 2 Falcon supports scaling very hard. Oh, XM.
Surely he doesn't die here.
He's out of mana.
Oh, no.
He's got a stick and a TP, but Amar...
Uh-oh. Well... They see him.
They see him.
Oh, no.
Goodbye, XM. He has literally 0 galvanized since for the entire game on.
Well, at least he did all right in lane against Malry.
He did.
That's his highlight of this game. Outside of that, it's not been great. It's been rough for the poor lad.
Yeah. This has been... A lot of the games that I do see from XG, it is pretty rough for the first 30 minutes. They do start kicking things off.
This is part of the plan.
I wouldn't say it's part of the plan fully, but it's what I've seen from them a lot of their games.
Bottom lane, Malry is in with the jump. They're going to drop the 2 ults. He's pretty beefy, but not quite beefy enough to withstand the damage.
Double ults.
An epicenter and a freezing field.
How much damage does Snay do there? Oh, it doesn't show me. Give me. There we go. Yeah, 700 from the CM, 1600 from the Sand King. No BKB just yet on the Primal Beast, but he was close. Falcon just making these moves at the kind of perfect times and just catching Extreme off guard over and over again. It's fast for a 9K lead, but it's kind of the tempo that they've been setting in so many of their games as well.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
See how they look to strike back up here. They're looking to at least defend around Ame, just playing around him with the 2 supports.
If they lose another fight, it's going to get very close to the point where Amar can just kind of blink in and duel with no cares. He can just... Whoever he duels will die.
Once he has BKB, that's going to be the case. Yeah. Anybody he blink BKB, Blade Mail duels is just probably dead. Even potentially that Sven.
They've got the Orchid on XM. They're smoking up, so maybe see if they can make some sort of a catch happen with this.
It's a tanky Sand King now at this point, though. Malrine, he's gotten his full Eternal Shroud after these last few moments. And they have a mech on crit, too, so not an easy fight or easy catch.
They're going to jump the Primal again. And he's incredibly dead.
Right before, look at his gold. He had 1,430 right before the BKB.
That feels bad. They're going to lay down the macro pyre, see if they can do something here. I don't know if they can.
Nice Orchid, but it's one to disengage as...
Whoa, the Phoenix gets Malrine in with the stinger hit.
It's getting rough. They're hitting every single gank at the perfect time. Literally, Primal was like 10 gold from BKB. Ame comes in with a God Strength, has to run away. XM's Orchid reveal is just to disengage as well.
Radiant's middle
It's a tough
tower
one.
is under
It's tough.
attack.
It's a tough one.
It's just crisp moves. And overall for Falcons, they can keep setting this tempo, keep setting this pace. They have a Gleipnir also on Skeeter, so they have this extra catch on top of everything for the Storm now too. Just great itemization, great aggressive plays. And yeah, with the mech, he's going to go for the pipe afterwards, and that's going to negate.
I'll take your.
I mean, it's going to be pretty much up to Ame to do all the damage in the fights at that point if he does get away with both these items these next few moments. Things are accelerating quickly. Difficult to see how poor Ame can do this at all in this game now. But he's going to have to... He's got his work cut out for him, because XM just has literally no game. Support's catching up to him. XXS, all right, BKB's done. They've got Orchid done, but now at this point, the timings are just difficult because do they have damage to contribute? They might survive versus some of these initial goes with this, but their damage is quite lackluster versus what they're up against now. Ame close to BKB too, so maybe double BKB timing will be an attempt for them. XM has an amp damage also, but I'm just worried for his life because he's so fragile now. He jumps in, gets caught by one stun, he's just dead.
There's not a lot to save one another from the dual threat of Amar.
No, and they're setting up for a gank bottom, and it's also Roche is going to be swinging bottom very soon, so they're preparing for the move. Getting aggressive ward down, looking for somebody immediately.
I mean, if XXS steps out, they will be tempted to just jump in.
He'll very likely just die with the kisses and everything, even though he's a primal. Has to be very careful.
They know where he's going to likely be. He's just got to be very careful. He gets anywhere close to this tower, he's going down.
Even Skitter is joining the fray. He's coming down bottom as well. They're going to back up for the Roche, I'd imagine. That's why they put this much pressure onto the bottom tower. They do kill it very fast with the bugs. Ame has BKB, but they can't make it down there to fight at this point, even though those two BKBs are online. At least they'll get their Tormentor.
Who's UVA just to? Out of the course. Because any of them can make a case for it, right? They all kind of go in.
It's actually difficult to say. I think Skeeter or Malrine, probably Skeeter, just so he can play super aggressive.
That gives the Weaver. Yeah, I guess there's the squishier out of the three heroes.
I think because Malrine already has the Eternal Shroud, he has a Veil, he's quite survivable at this point. And Amar is very close to BKB. I mean, you wouldn't give it to the Legion anyway in this game. It's quite a perfect game so far from Falcons. Extreme trying to catch them off guard.
See what they can get. Coming in with the smoke, they're able to jump over towards the Sanky.
He's very tanky.
He is indeed. He's able to get the burrow strike off the Gleipnir from Skeeter. Comes out, catches the three of them. XXS charges for him. He's not able to go grab anyone. The pulverize. The duel comes in from Amar. Jumps the back lines. Catches the Jakiro. Takes him out. They'll turn towards Amar. They will be able to kill him off. But can the rest of Extreme getting escape this? The pulverize is there to grab him in position. Ame struggling to get out the damage as he gets caught by the frostbite. Caught by the root. They're completely controlling the Sven. Ame to fall. 3 dead. That's on XGWBG.
And that's their double BKB timing, the one that they like want to smash the fight somehow, but they're into this Aegis, they're into just super tanky heroes. Amar, he's the sacrificial lamb, but they get Malrine out for a reset. He gets to go back in, and he still gets the successful duel.
Yeah, absolutely. Amar does not mind dying there whatsoever.
No.
He did his job.
They were just ready, right? It's a 5-man smoke that just runs into 5 heroes immediately. Falcons just prepared for every single one of these moons, and now a shield rune as well onto Malrine, so even tankier. These supports just having a field day. It's all the Falcons, of course, having a field day, but really these two supports are making so much happen after these early moves. They're both part of 15 of the 17 kills. They've showed up to pretty much every single one of these battles.
Is under attack.
And for Extreme, where do you go from here?
They're desperately trying to make plays here around the storm. XM showing on the top wave. Here's the support backup.
I feel like they need every little single bit of damage to even go through one target. They need God Strength.
It feels like they're baiting a duel, but I don't know if they want to be baiting a duel, because I feel like whoever gets jumped is going to die.
He's in.
He's just going to go for the easy one first. Goes for the backlines, catches the Jakiro. But actually, I say easy. They don't kill GQ off. The Sunray's coming out. Amar's going to be a bit careful. Stepping back, does get healed up. He's still surviving through this. He's actually going to be able to turn and take down DY with the help of Crit and the Scatter Blast. And XM, he's out of mana.
Yeah, he's going down.
So whilst he may not have won the duel, they certainly won them the fight by starting it off there. Amar, they get 3 kills, they lose no one.
He got blocked by snaking for like 10 seconds too. He was trying to run through. He's like, let me out, but didn't matter. They all TP'd in sequence on Falcons perfectly. They're just, they're playing this game just beautifully. First 20 minutes, first 23 minutes, pretty much zero mistakes so far from them. The supports, they're always there. They always have backup of the team, and the itemization is on point as well too, as we've seen more and more. These auras just doing so much work, snaking with drums. We see the Greaves on crit, and yeah, just continuously wanting to highlight these two supports because it just feels like they've been quite a bit better than the opposing supports, just being able to back up their cores. I don't know if we'll see a first pick Phoenix again, because it just feels like it got so answered this game. DY just struggles to do much in the lane and struggles to do much to contribute inside game with an egg. It's impossible to get an egg off.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Hard to sort of see what the plan is now for Extreme.
Your Storm has got nothing. Sanking is
under attack.
16,000 net worth. Marine is huge. Full Shivas, 30 armor, 45% magic resist. You have to blow everything onto him, and he's probably not dying anyway because he's got this Presty attack behind him, and Greaves, and etc. So
there we go. Continuing to smash the timings as well, Amar.
having a
seconds faster than the fastest BKB we've seen on Legion this patch.
And they're smoked up. They're looking to catch because they know that Extreme at this point, they're just looking to just play outside the map, trying to get anything they can. They're bound to catch somebody out here.
This is looking like a bit of dual damage from Ma. Ooh, okay. You didn't quite catch vision of DY. Tries to go for XM instead, but
blind.
Maureen knows exactly where to find him. He's in with the burrow strike. And you know what? They might just get the dual damage after all. Get Amar in, let him duel. Easy plus damage for the Legion after all.
That was a very nice play.
Where do you think you're going?
Sanking from this hero. Also coming out right away in the draft, and he is having a field day of a game. 7-1 and 10.
Yeah, they could get ready to just start pushing the high ground again. I mean, sure, they're not going to have the Aegis, but I would only imagine that at this point, Falcons, they don't care about that. They're that far ahead. 16k, you say.
They can do much of anything at this point. The Storm's game is completely over. They're all going to start getting overtaken by the supports, and they can't really get out of the map to get any farm either.
I mean, how did it all go wrong for XM this game? Was it just too much of a...
He died 3 times in a row, right?
Yeah,
2 or 3 times in a row. No galvanized
could that have
stacks.
been avoided? Is that kind of on the support side? How do you sort of change that from happening? Because he had a good start. The early lane farm was there. You know, he came out the lane with exactly what he would have hoped for. What did XG need to do differently to keep their Storm safe?
That's a good question. I think the supports on Falcons just played that well and were always at the right place at the right time, right? That early rune rotation, yeah, you got a regen rune, but you died for it. Then afterwards, the next rotation, you died immediately afterwards too. So he has literally had 0 galvanize. And I think this hero really has to thrive on galvanize right now to be able to have these good games. This is not as free of a Storm game as I think they hoped for versus this Max Frostbite so early.
Certainly not. Yeah, they proved that they easily had enough control for the Storm.
And yeah, they're just always there. What is they're what, 20, at least 20 of the kills from the 2 supports, being able to make these moves around, playing around Malrine, and yeah, those 3 really in particular having that catch, right? Frostbite, Cookie, Sanking stun plus the damage. It's been enough to be able to take out the Storm all these early game moves.
I'll take yours.
And at this point, those feel like they can do almost anything, and it feels like for Ame, he has to somehow be able to get to these, I don't know, these next like 2 big items, right? If he can get the S and Y into like a Daedalus or something, then perhaps they can have it, but everybody else is just out of the game on his team. And Falcons just playing it. They're playing it safe. Getting some really good neutral items as well, too. We see the Paladin Sword, one of the best ones you can get onto Malrine, onto the Sanking. Ame did get one of the best ones as well. He did get the Vindicators, so that is very nice for the Sven. Just tough to see how much he's going to be able to do hitting these targets in the fights, too, because his BKB now, I believe the first 2 usages have not really gained him much of anything, so it's starting to get lower and lower versus control.
Dire are scanning.
Falcons currently sweeping the map with the smoke, seeing if they can find any of Extreme heading out. Ooh, duel opportunity here, but he hasn't immediately got back up Amar, so he won't win this duel. See if he can actually get out. Put the BKB, but of course he's been caught by the Pulverize. Amar maybe getting a little too aggressive there. Went for a very ambitious duel. did not have any backup in sight.
A little ambitious. Just a tiny bit there. Guess he wanted to try to steal the Wisdom Rune, right? 28-minute timing, but all at the ready for that one.
And they're going to try and make something happen with this.
It's a
they've
good
got
kill.
to, right? This is a window of opportunity. The Legion is out of the game for 30 seconds.
And they've got BKB now also on the Storm. They did use the BKB on the Primal Beast, but they've got a little bit of liberty here for XM. But Falcons probably going to look to contest this anyway because they still have a plethora of items.
If they can poke out the BKB perhaps. Actually, there's only the jump off to the side. XM's immediately able to put the stop for the kisses. They come in with the onslaught straight over towards Crit Trample as well. Crit's able to bounce away with the Yoga Seal Totem. Maureen lays down the Sandstorm in the midst of it all and is able to split XGWBG up. XXS gets left behind. The rest of Extreme on the retreat.
Ame turns to hit him with God Strength and hits him for like almost nothing. Immediately just has to run away with his BKB again. They tried to take a moment of opportunity there, but yeah, immediately just get put back in, they get, you know, put back into that humbled position that they should be in this game because Falcons just, they have all these items to counteract everything. I saw Greaves and Pipe already finished from Crit, so the damage is, nobody's hitting anybody.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing, right, with how fun Crit is. You know, XM wanted to go for him, put a stop to the kisses, but yeah, there's no way you're killing the Snap right now. Literally has more farm than the Storm, as you're saying.
He'll just fight him back. You know, he stopped, like you said, he stopped the kisses, but then he hits him like once or twice. Oh, no. Nobody doing any damage to any of these heroes at this point. Amar, of course, did die, but that was, you know, him playing super far aggressive on the left side there. And Falcons just continue to fight. It's a lot cleaner.
Amar back in action. You're going to be sure that he's going to be looking straight away to go for another duel.
Absolutely. 166 damage.
That's a lot. 30 minutes in.
He also did find the Vindicator, so got
A golden thread.
one of the best neutral aims he could have got for himself also on his tier 3. Oh, Snaking took the doubloon.
Scanning.
This might be one of the first doubloons I've seen.
Any cool plays you can make with it?
No, it just makes you a bit tankier. They're just trying to tank up. That's what that tells me. He didn't get one of the other tank neutral items or something, and then he wants this one because it does make you a 2,000 HP Crystal Maiden. So everybody unbelievably durable on the side of Falcons. So yeah, XM's game continues to be very difficult. He can't even kill supports if he jumps them.
Yeah, I mean, that's, yeah, especially Snake King's next to Crit, right? Yeah, the Greaves and the Pipe. They've got Pipe themselves now.
They do.
On Extreme. DY.
And they almost have Jin Q with an Aghanims. He's somehow been able to just quietly farm to be able to get at least a little bit more, but XM just still having, like I said, no game, just behind the support of the side of Falcons, and soon XXS is going to be overtaken as well. Maybe even Amar is going to be overtaken from Crit too, to be honest with you, but Falcons looking to play around this next timing. Roche, it's up. They've got control of bottom. They bought a gem not too long ago as well too, so looking to set up around here. And a very difficult place to fight. For Extreme, probably fighting, maybe waiting for fights to get to their high ground. I think fighting outside still feels quite complicated when they're at this disadvantage.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I don't think you're going for anything outside of the base anytime soon.
No, you want your ideal kind of fight is that they just sit inside of these macro pyres and walking through, and your egg gets placed in the back. You're able to use like these full duration sun rays. They need some long duration team fights, it feels like. Which is usually not the case that I would say for something like a Sven. Sven usually does want those explosive fights, so fight's very complicated.
Oh, and in the mid lane. Okay.
It's a solo.
All right, didn't get the duel win, but yeah. He'll throw the tip out as well for that one, Amar. It's solo killing the Sven. That's kind of their only hope at the moment, Extreme. And they've just lost him. Army's out for a minute.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Well, that's power play right there. Hey guys, we're doing Roche. Just kidding. Gotcha.
Yeah, I guess that's what happened. Army already felt that there was no one on the map.
Heads up play.
But Amar was ready.
Up top.
They're trying to kill the Sankey. Can they kill Maori?
Got the Bloodstone off, but they got
It's
the
a good
damage.
pulverize. All right, they got him.
They got him, almost max Sunray plus that full macro pyre on top of him. We're able to bring down the Sand King. Second time in the game they're able to.
Oh, there we go. I guess they don't need army. They can do it without it.
Have to blow everything for him. But they do get him at the least. They'd live to see more. He didn't have Crit near him, right? I guess Crit was a little too far to be able to get that extra protection versus him. And yeah, it was 4 versus 1. by Gem, looking to recontrol a bit of at least these high grounds. XXS also was able to find himself an Aghanim, so small gains, but need, you know, at least it's something here. It's just XM still not really getting much growth is the concern. Now look for another smoke. They're going to try to catch Falcons off guard. Perhaps maybe also just look for some of these wards so they can control the map a little better.
This will do nicely.
Only 10 seconds until Maureen's back in. At that point, I don't think the Extreme's going to be quite as happy running into Falcons. Especially with this Aegis, of course, still on Skeeter for 3 more minutes.
Arcane Rune up top. Sam will be able to get that one. They're kind of stalking him, looking at Skeeter's play. Wants to try to get a setup onto the Storm. He has backup coming in as well, too.
He's going to try and start something here, Skeeter, but immediately XM goes for the TP out.
Dude, they do just force him back to base immediately. They force quite a lot of Extreme back to the base as well, too, with everyone respawning. Jinky will stick around here, try to get a little bit extra farm, but will back up for the defense of the high ground. The smoke, it's coming out, Falcons. They want to try to get a catch, use this Aegis onto the high ground. Full Daedalus on Skeeter was finished up. And he did hit the 20 talent, so pretty big timing also on this Weaver. His damage is going to be pretty explosive in this next one. Everything at the ready, though. They've got the macro pyre. Let's see how they can hang on.
Look at the jump. Stun. It's going to be Burrow Striker return. The macro pyre's laid down, but Falcons, they're immediately out of it.
That's the macro pyre used. They need every little thing to be able to hold for these. They thought maybe they'd be able to get a little more with this poke, but now no macro. Falcons might try to force a bit harder.
And Mark definitely going to be looking for the opportunity to jump.
Checking for the ward. Common ward spot will be taken out. Maureen has Fire Spirits. There we go.
Is under attack.
Skeeter's coming in with the push.
The banner's down.
They're going to be forced to fight pretty soon. They'll have to pop the fortification, Extreme.
They get the aggro on the creep wave at the least there, so they can pull them out of the banner range.
Oh, Amar's in. He's going to go for the Jakiro. Straight in away from the duel, but the pulverizer's there. Marin jumps in the Burrow Strike. They're able to kill off the Jakiro. It's a successful duel for Amar. He backs off. Extreme, they got anything else? Zip forward over towards Maureen. The buyback's going to come out now from Xingqiu. They're going to try and line things up on towards the Sand King. They get him with the Vortex, but Maureen's able to Burrow Strike down to the low ground. Now able to drag him back up, but he gets forced back down. Maureen's able to get back out successfully.
That's the God Strength and the BKB.
And Amar's ready to go back in. He's going to blink in aggressively. The trample's coming in from XXS on top of Amar.
Decent damage.
Amar's to get healed up. He's perfectly fine. Maureen jumps in. He's in with the Bloodstone heal as well. Arme dying under the epicenter. He's out of the game. No buyback on him.
Double tipped.
They're feeling pretty good about this one.
They reset. They're just resetting the fights beautifully. I mean, Maureen gets to somehow get out of the base when he gets pulverized comboed. XXS not using the initial BKB, so they're able to get that combo to be able to kind of reset them. The 4 steps and the Lotus to cover each other. Falcons, just a beautiful team fight execution.
And not punished whatsoever. I mean, Amar and Crit, they're still sticking around. See if they can get back in. He's going to go for it. Straight in for the duel. The Burrow Strike's going to catch under the 2. Then Xingqiu out for good. There's an essential dieback there on the Jakiro, out for 70 seconds.
Storm's out of mana.
He's out of mana. Marin's ready to cut him off. XM taken out as well. None of them with buybacks available here. It's just XXS and DY trying to hold on to the game desperately.
I'm surprised they haven't called it. Both of the 2 main cores are dead. Raxes are dropping. Falcons can continue this. And this one's very clearly over here as the support. DY just tries throwing some Fire Spirits, does next to nothing. 14 seconds again for Ame.
Maureen with the setup. Cookie follow-up from Crit. As DY gone. He uses buyback. Now that 5 seconds and Ame will be back in the game, but the barracks are being taken.
Crit is godlike this game. 9, 0, and 17 on the Snapfire.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen. The Dire now have...
That's the Megas.
I mean, they're seeing if they can find one more fight, maybe.
They can,
XGWBG.
They're just going to look for 1 kill and maybe GG out, if they can even find that.
Yeah, because XXS is getting jumped. Was buffed up by the pipe. He's able to make his way back to the fountain. 10 seconds until they've got the full team back in play.
Who can Ame kill? He doesn't have a crit. His damage is quite pitiful at this point versus how tanky everybody on Falcons is. And with the Megas coming in, Falcons will just back up, let them suffer.
They're giving them some respect. They're like, all right, you want to keep playing? We'll keep playing as well.
Yeah, you want to suffer? Look at Crit. He's like, you know what? I'm level 20. I got my Shredder talent. Let's queue up the Daedalus.
Now, Falcons, they're in no rush.
No. This is, I would imagine, I didn't bring up this graph, but this has to be one of those 100%ers, because this one has been just a complete control. It's barely any kills they're even getting up. Sometimes you see Falcons giving up these supports a little bit more in these games and just thriving on the cores, but it's just everybody having a pretty much perfect game. Many Lincolns being picked up now too, seeing at least the one for the Legion versus the Pulverize in particular. And yeah, they can back it up, they can play it safe.
Snaking.
He took the farm. And now good luck making
attack speed, less gun.
Good luck dropping an egg now. Just kidding, there was no eggs anyway, but that attack speed. Look at him go.
You should be turning up a Daedalus as well, Snake. What's this Loader Sword? Nobody wants to see that.
I actually thought that was a Maelstrom for a second, and it was a Storm.
Yeah, when I saw that proc as well, I had to check his inventory. I was like, oh, nice. But just the Stormcraft.
I'm a fan of that.
Not too bad.
40k net worth lead. 40 minutes in coming up.
The 1k per minute.
Yep.
The almost as we say, the irrecoverable point.
And we haven't really seen that a lot. I mean, normally the games are kind of cool before it gets there.
Very true. I mean, they're hanging on to it. They're probably discussing quite a bit of things that have, they could have fixed or whatnot, but they're going to try for at least one more battle. Could be a painful one, though. Very likely to be a painful one, that is.
I mean, he'll jump the base solo.
Oh,
he has no fear.
No, he wants a big one, though. He wants a core, I feel like.
Do it.
He's thinking about it.
Do it, go on.
The problem is that the Lincolns can be broken through the BKB, so that even if he jumps, he can't go for like the safe duel. It's gonna get pulverized as long as they break that Lincolns first. So I mean, he knows he just needs someone backup, and then he's gonna go. And now he's got that backup.
Dante DY. Straight in they go. Goodbye, Phoenix. Now the turn over towards Arme. Arme trying to run, but he's caught by the frostbite. He's just completely out of position. He didn't pop BKB or Godstrength, probably because he thought the game was over and he would be correct in his assumption. He has got buyback, but the game's over. GG is called. Falcons will take this game one. My goodness, this was quite the stomping here for this first round of the matchup.
XM had no game.
Oh my.
BG and Falcons. Folks, what do you make of this? This time round, we're getting this sort of last pick come through. It looked like it was going to maybe be the mid Slardar. Then the Monkey King comes out in response. And XTREME say, hey, well, you know what? We're not going to put the Slardar. Maybe we're going to keep on the off lane for XXS. And we're going to take the Beastmaster to the mid lane.
Oh, let's see if that pays off, because now they do force a situation where, yes, they have these double or triple kind of disables to deal with the Weaver lane. It's just this Enchantress, right? We've seen time and time again this Ench versus Slardar, how much you're able to do and put pressure onto Slardar in particular, but then also it's an Enchantress versus a Lion, a hero we don't see too often. Can Lion endure the pressure that Enchantress brings to with just out-healing all damage? Because I imagine Snake's is going to walk at them, pop the heals constantly, and then send perhaps some early creep. So again, Falcon's a very strong, fast-paced draft. I'd say for XTREME, they do have a better one to be able to react. I just have worries of if they can actually get to the points where these heroes are strong. Because I do see situations where I've seen this Enchantress thing so many times now. Snay probably hits 3, sends the Enchantress creep through the portal, and then it's a Mars Hoodwink with an Enchantress creep versus a Morphling Phoenix, which a Morphling Phoenix can be a pretty weak lane in particular. So let's see how these lanes do go down, because it does feel a little bit better for XTREME, but still not easy by any means. Falcon's a very strong dictating pace draft.
Because it's a whole sort of change around the mid lane. Do you think this came down to the fact that they felt that the Beastmaster would be strong against the Monkey King, or just down to the fact that they were like, oh, we forgot about Monkey King. They've picked it against our Slardar. Slardar does not want to lane against the Monkey King.
I mean, I hope they didn't forget about it. I really hope they didn't forget about that.
I mean, we've seen it come through on these drafts at the last pick a few times, sometimes it does get through.
I don't know. This lane matchup does feel like it could be a little bit difficult. It's going to depend on the first few levels. Okay. If Malvini's able to kill, if he's ever able to get Jingu stacks and he gets a Boundless onto these boars, that's going to be devastating for XM. So XM, he's got to do some really good control of the lane here. I'm pretty much going to be just staring at mid lane because I feel like it could be really difficult for XM. He struggled last time.
Ooh, I'll tell you what, first blood on the top lane. Jin-Q and XXS able to take Skeeter down.
Nicely done. They get the sentry down in the lane. Wasn't dewarded by snaking. I think we say this every time, right? Versus those Weavers, get the sentry down. They probably got him as he Shikuchi'd through with double stuns.
Bottom lane. Amar last game had pretty incredible farm on his Legion. Is this a game where you look at the lane setup, like will there be any struggles for him down here? Nope. How strong is this duo for Falcons?
Super strong. I mean, probably they're... and these two always feel like they have the strongest lane ever, right? But it's probably one of their strongest ones. Amar is literally playing his most comfortable hero. Crit is playing his most comfortable. This and the Snapfire does feel like it's super strong. And it's a bit of a weaker lane in particular here versus the Morph. You know, the Morph and the Phoenix can be a pretty weak lane, at least in those early levels in particular. So yeah, I feel like Amar should just free farm down here. There's not really any aggression they can put onto him with the Phoenix Morph.
Yeah, finding the damage to taking him down early will be difficult, whereas I imagine, you know, Crit and Amar, they do have the damage to take out DY if he's not too careful on his Phoenix play.
I think he... the board is actually backed up to get some stacks. So, all right. He's going to accept that he's going to lose this lane now horribly, because that's what just happened now in these first 2 levels. Malreen's got the 2 points in Jingu's, and that's just XM. There's no way that you can lane as a melee versus this even spamming Axis. So I guess the case is just going to be stacking and trying to recover off that, but sure, that just feels rough, because he also just had such a rough game last time as the Storm. He was pretty much like a support very early on, so...
I mean, that's true. Yeah, you got to feel from a bit what it was like. You come out of the game, one of the games, they're like, right, this time you get to play a Beastmaster against a Monkey King mid. And XM was like, great, you know.
Ooh, the last attack actually doesn't go through, but he's going to lose one of those boars. You have to play very careful around this. He's giving a ton of experience to Malreen. Malreen's level 4.
Well, at least down the line, there should be strengths that the Beastmaster has against the Monkey King. Raw's going to be pretty powerful for setting up onto him.
Yeah, and then he also just has stacks. So that's the one thing they are looking at is, yes, even if the lane does go bad, he does have stacks to be able to go back to. He's actually doing some good damage onto Malreen, but immediately turns into creep. We'll be able to reset. It's got the bottle too, so we'll be able to at least fill those up to keep that lane going in an okay manner, but those denies definitely will start adding up for Malreen. Top, after they got this first blood, they're still getting good farm on XXS in particular here, so still pretty decent, but the lane is getting a bit more difficult, at least trying to go for the kills onto Skeeter. And snaking is about to hit level 3, and that's the power timing on the enchantresses that we've seen. Having level 2 enchant to be able to either pressure your lane or send that creep elsewhere. They're gonna go on Snay. Gets the Lotus off, but it's enough damage.
I mean, they're making good moves up here.
Very nice.
Saw them do it earlier, and here, as you say, that sort of quick little bit of a window before Snay was going to get into the position where he would have been likely setting up on towards Jingqiu. They strike, and they get the kill.
At the perfect time. Literally, as he hits 3, they get the move onto him, so nicely done. That was even with the healing Lotus. I believe Skeeter passed it over to his buddy. It still wasn't enough to keep him alive. So at least we're seeing that switch up work out, right? Having the Slardar top, even though Beastmaster is struggling, Slardar's doing quite well. But yeah, we've seen Malreen when he's able to get starts like this, how much he can run away with games. And we've seen a lot of these Monkey Kings, it's been contested, and I believe it still is, what, 90% contest rate or something like that? We'll see how XM's able to endure that pressure. Because it does fit the archetype that Falcons wants to play. You know, playing fast, pressuring these towers early on, especially versus Ame playing a Morphling, which can get to a point that is going to be a beast. Just if he does. At his bottom, Crit gets a solo kill.
Kind of does, yeah. Diving under the tower, able to take down DY. I mean, Ame will way forward to get the creeps, but that's going to be that his courier actually ends up getting sniped by Amar with the rebuke there, so not able to get the delivery. Ame.
Crit has just been a total menace this tournament in particular.
Especially on the Hoodwink.
Hoodwink and Snap, he just seems to dominate. Especially in the laning phase, securing his lane for his buddy, but then also getting these extra kills. It's literally a solo kill. Oh, and he just ate his branch too, so even more minus gold for poor Phoenix. Thank you.
Top lane. I mean, we're now going to start to see what that top lane, now that the levels have come in for snaking, that it's a lot harder for them to find those opportunities to go aggressive and get the kills like they did earlier a couple of times on Extreme.
It still was, I mean, still pretty nice that they were able to get those 2 early on, but yeah, now the double sentries are placed down 2 to protect Skeeter, and yeah, Snake's starting to get a little bit more stat items. And GQ had to he TP'd all the way to base. I thought he was TPing to the tier 1 or something there, so he's gonna have to waltz all the way over here. At least it is around the power rune, so he's gonna look to secure that one for the Beastmaster, who does need that secure. Oh, man. All right, let's see. This is where the game kind of exploded last time, too, around the power runes. XM does have Roar.
He's happy to drop it here. Make sure they can have a chance of taking Snake King down. They'll get it.
Nicely done. Xingqiu, he's the leader right now. Those 3 kills, all because of him, and he's gotten all 3 of them himself. Good move. And they've got the shield rune now, of course, on the Beastmaster. Now we're seeing Malrine perhaps making a movement himself. Phase double bracer, 3 points Jingu.
They could look to dive.
Ame does heal himself up, gets the stick after he shifts down, but this Phoenix could be in trouble here.
They're going to try and set things up with the Boundless into the Bushwhack. It's an easy kill for the 2 of them.
Malrine considering diving here.
Ame, not really a target they can take out like this, though, with the spells on cooldown, so Ame will be fine.
Where does Ame want to go? I think he's considering going through the portal here. Not the greatest. Usually, for some of these carries, it does feel okay to be able to move through the portal. Morphling is definitely one of the weirder ones to be forced toward top this early on.
Radiant's bottom tower.
You can't really
They're going to
make
know
an
that he's gone
aggressive play.
through here, so they'll know that he's in this area of the map.
Yeah, and I don't... did we see Malrine go through it? Not yet. He's looking to just finish up the tower bottom first. But this is, I mean, maybe a necessary one from Ame, but definitely awkward. Because, yeah, you can't gank as a Morphling. You know, sometimes you see like the spam he did before he has a stun. This one, it's
under attack.
If he gets it, it would be pretty hilarious, but they do have the sentry down.
They've got good stuns to set up. 6 has been hit, though. Can he get the time lapse off, Skeeter? He can.
And he'll be able to kill that sentry. Like if he's a Sven or something, you know, they get that kill because he has stuff, but it's just a Morphling. He contributes just a waveform of damage.
And they've got 4 heroes pretty much up here. DY also joining them this top lane push. XM has wiped the whole team.
Everybody.
Everybody's here.
They want the bug.
Backup's coming in for Skeeter. So we'll be completely on his own.
There's a point held as well, so Malrine, he is ready to throw down a Wukong's if he sees necessary. And they're having to break their lanes already at this point. Definitely a concern already for the side of Extreme. And who do we see get the Wisdom runes, by the way? It was just a 1-for-1, so.
Making those sort of moves definitely hurts them a little
Dire's
side of things.
is
Yes.
under attack.
I mean, especially Ame. Now he's going to be able to go down back to bottom to be able to get that farm up. But you see his net worth reflecting of what happened. You know, going top just doesn't feel great for him. Beast up overall. Top net worth, even though he's been versus that monkey. He's been able to get this good farm. I believe did he clear one of the stacks? He didn't yet. So he's got that stack to go back to that he has here on the left side as well, too. So overall, not too shabby. And let's see if he ever does get any tree cuts in particular versus the Monkey King at bottom.
They tried to see if they could catch Ame, but Ame, he was prepared. They have Marinos around as well, but diving the tier 2 for the Morph is not going to be an option at the moment for Falcons.
Not worth the risk. The next time we'll start to work on these. It's not scouted out yet either, is it? No. So that ward doesn't gonna... It's gonna start seeing it now. So they do actually see the edge of it with that ward they placed earlier. The Malrine not looking to contest it. Top tower, it's still alive, and it's still quite healthy, actually. And they did have 5 up here for a moment, so Skeeter, he's been able to hang on to this one alone. And it's still not... Yeah, still barely even half HP. Snaking has found the 6, starting to get those creeps online. Xingqiu not quite having 6 for the burst. Not as explosive of a timing by any means this time from Falcons, but still getting a lead out of these lanes. And they keep applying pressure to Ame. They're still looking to play around this bottom side, so Ame doesn't have this like freedom of just catching up afterwards, because they're actually just around him. So if he steps up and he's not careful, he could get caught.
See what they can do with the smoke. Maybe they can go for the play mid, see if they can catch XM.
Amar is holding the skill point still too, so he's 3-3 and he has that skill point ready. XM on himself an illusion rune. It's that backup of his team. They do not want to lose the stacks this time. Last game they lost. What was it? It was like a 5 stack that they had stolen.
Yeah, it was a big old ancient stack that went the way of Falcons.
This time they're making sure that they can protect it. They might lose mid though. Phoenix, DY. Does show himself for a second.
They've got the setup. Balances the bushwhack and the spirit's an easy kill.
Perfect stun there from Malrine. Gonna look to try to hang on to this tower as long as possible. They have good spam with the Beastmaster, so this one... Let's see if Falcons can push forward here. I mean, Snaking's making the call that he does want to pressure it as much as possible.
Be cheerful.
Radiant structures are
These Enchantress
fortified.
creeps are so tanky. Just keeping that catapult alive.
Do they fight into this?
Dire are scanning.
They don't have 6 yet on either support. About to have 6 on DY. It's 1 creep away.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
We'll keep stalling it, but the catapult is still full HP.
Dire's
They're just
bottom
persisting
tower
forward
is
for it.
under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
GQ.
Nice, Nay is trying so hard to keep this catapult alive.
He's in
It's
this.
working.
Same time, the core army in the arena. Do these two have the damage? Boundless comes in. They've done it. They're able to bring him down despite the high amount of strength that he shifted into.
And they're going to tip him right away. And they kept the catapult alive. Xingqiu, he'll get
Radiant's
denied,
middle tower has been denied.
but the push works. They catch the Morphling. Everything going pretty well for Falcons. XM, though, having a much better game. Of course, he's 3 components toward that Aghanims.
They've got to do something with him, though. Get something done with these roars. They've got the ultimates. Between sort of a roar, a finger, and a supernova, somebody should die on Falcons.
And they have the vision constantly on the Skitter, too, here. So they might just be able to catch him because of that corrosive haze from XXS. Xingqiu looking for the angle. Skeeter playing careful. He seems to know.
That's a bit too deep now for Extreme
Dire's
WBG
top
to look to
tower
go
is
for him.
attacked.
Look at the wards they've placed. They do want to try to play aggressive up here. 3 wards to at least watch and try to potentially catch Skeeter if he's not careful.
They haven't really been able to. They have this vision on him, but actually making a move up to that top part has not happened quite yet.
Dire's top
It's quite a bit
tower
more
has
difficult
fallen.
than the opposing side catching the Morphling, as we've seen. You know, Ame has to be very careful because of all the stuns. Skeeter is just, he's able to play that much more careful because of how well his lane went. Crit has the 6 ready. So yeah, Ame even more burst. He does have to be careful of how much he shows down here. They're gonna make another move. Phoenix making a
Dire
setup.
are scanning.
10 seconds until the arena's back online for Amar. So he'll be ready to fight.
And he's about to have Blink too, so easier forms of being able to start these fights. On the flip side, XM, I believe that is now the Aghanims done, so it's got to be something explosive with it to make the space for Ame's Morph. They almost have the Blink. I believe they do have the Blink on the Slardar too, so they're going to have 2 big timings here to be able to try to fight back versus Falcons. They just have to execute these spells well. Because Falcons has just been kind of 1 step ahead of the plays and also just 1 step ahead of how they execute these team fights. So we saw in the last game. So let's see where they look to go. These Falcons, they're kind of showing all over the place. So they're getting a lot of farm on the map. Snaking, he's forcing mid as an Enchantress past the river. And now they'll have their own Blink to fight back also.
Extreme. I mean, I feel, yeah, it's
They wanna
still
fight.
it's sort of waiting to see what they're going to be able to do with this fantastic amount of farm that XM has.
They have the
They've
team
set
fight.
everything up. You've set XM up for success.
Yeah.
But now what? Because overall they are behind. They've got to do something soon.
Yeah, they have good ultis. It's just can they get the good catches here? It'll be on an edge for now. They'll blow them up.
Dire's middle tower is under
And they do have an amp damage on XM too, so should be able to turn this into a tower.
is under attack.
Yeah, very unlikely the Falcons will turn up to defend this one, I would imagine.
Yeah, now when they're all just set up already here. XG able to make that space. Allow Ame to recover, and now they're going to swing toward top. They still do have this vision that's placed up there that could catch Skitter off guard. They do have all these stuns, so they do get on top of him. As long as Xingqiu's able to follow up with the stun hacks, they could bring him down. But Falcons don't seem too fussed. They are just farming it up. They've got Maelstrom finished up on Malrine. They've got the Maelstrom finished up on the Weaver. Now, perhaps looking to group, since Amar does have the Blink on him.
Now, these two could burst most targets, maybe even Ame if they catch him low.
He's playing very careful. Ame playing far left side, the bottom side of these Ancients. He's recovering. Not as quick as, I mean, not farming as well as the Weaver, of course, who had that free farm, of course, top, but recovering slowly here on the Morphling. XM.
I mean, if they see him, they'll absolutely go for him. He's a very high priority kill right now.
He is the highest priority kill. They will blow absolutely everything onto him. He is kind of like that key team fight that they have right now to just protect the egg and everything, and they're gonna swing. They've got vision.
They do.
XM, Ame.
He's going to go for Ame instead. Oh, it's a beautiful opener there. Amar, he does it on his own.
Perfectly done. And they'll take the Ancients as well.
Very, very smooth stuff there from Amar.
And they might just back it up and go for the Roche. They've got the Weaver bugs, they've got the Enchantress, so yeah, they're going to look to do this one. And now without... They could look to come up here, but the ward coverage is already here from the side of Falcons, so it's not easy for them to just force the issue here on the side of XG. And they'll just have to give this one away. They're actually TPing. Okay, maybe not. They're going to look for it. It's going to be scouted, though.
I mean, there's no arena, right? So they feel that there's at least some sort of timing that they won't have on Falcons to play with. So
about to die.
WBG, they want to try and punish that. But it's just coming a little too late. Oh, it's already gone.
And the stun hits nobody.
Late with the crush there. XXS tries nonetheless. They just go for the TPs out. Team Falcons, they don't want to fight this. They're going to get everyone out there.
Power Ranger TPs out. Almost. That was close.
It was close.
Time. Very close.
A second, or maybe just under a second quicker there from the Slaughter, and maybe he gets him.
Just perhaps. Now they see bottom, they have this ward, so I think they saw snaking for a second, but now the Enchantress has become a much more difficult kill. The Solar Crest is finished up versus the majority of physical damage, unless the Beastmasters and the line is there.
A soldier's fortune.
That's very...
I mean, staying around that 2K though, so... I mean, the only issue is that Ame has now died twice. So any type of catch-up that he had going for him got completely stagnated.
That's very difficult for now, for them to look to make these plays that they're trying for earlier now that the Aegis is in the hands of Skeeter.
Yep. And Amar just feels like he's always at the ready to be... I mean, this time he's just like more of a sacrifice, right? He is an actual 3 for once on Amar. That ward is catching the movements, though, from Falcons. So they did see people leaving this top area for a second, so potentially trying to catch Crit, but Crit is careful. They're going to have a lot of Maelstroms on.
Yeah, well, triple Maelstrom.
They're going to have 3 Gleipnirs potentially pretty quickly in the mid game on the side of Falcons. Trying to get the high ground advantage here.
Who can they jump?
Rune.
Skeeter's able to grab the haste rune. They get the jump onto him. Amar comes in return. Does get caught by the stun. Roar as well. They drop everything down onto Mars. They're able to take Amar out before he can get the arena off. He's gone.
XM.
He's at the front of the fight. It's a good balance down the midst of them all. And a sharpshooter shot comes in from Crit to take him out.
Stun on Skeeter.
That's the Aegis gone.
So they have follow-up.
I mean, Ame is trying to work his way on towards the back lines. He's looking for Maureen on the Monkey King. He will find it.
Stun.
He's able to turn to the Weaver. Shikuchi over the middle of the lane. He's now on top of Skeeter. Skeeter getting stunned up, bashed up. They lock him down. They kill him off.
Oh, Jin-Q. Such a beautiful hex to catch Amar. The instant disable onto this Mars was pretty much perfect. He was going to catch all of them in that arena. XM does have to give his life for all of it, but a very successful fight as Ame able to join in and completely catch up. Turning into the Weaver, using the bugs against the Monkey King. Beautifully done. Fully recovered.
Yeah, absolutely got a game on our hands now. This was the fight that Extreme have been looking for.
Look at this cat. Oh, there's actually just a stun. Yeah, he's trying to catch the Weaver. I think Amar actually went into it. Well, that happens sometimes, but Jin-Q, you got to give him the credit.
And at this point, it looked like maybe they'll be able to hold the team fight. You know, Marion setting up like that, but Skeeter getting caught like this, and Marion just not in a position where he could come back in and help out, because as we just saw, Ame just pushed him off the edge of the screen, completely zoned the Monkey King out of the rest of the fight, and allowed for the cleanup to occur.
Some real clutch double stuns coming in. I think back-to-back, we saw double stun from Lion, then double stun from XXS, followed up from a secondary double stun too. Very nice fight. Falcons still looking to be aggressive. XM shows himself Amar.
He just got the setup. They have the arena.
They've got him.
And the TPs are coming in. I mean, XXS is going to come over the crush to try and help out the Sunrise. Well, XM, he's going to live. They're able to get in time to keep XM safe. Take Amar out. Falcons, now they're the ones getting outplayed.
Great reaction instantly. Again, these stuns, they're coming in. Who passed him? Someone passed him a Lotus too. I think I saw 2 great healing Lotuses passed on the Beastmaster. Yeah, 2 pumping him up. Great moves. As you said, we've got a game on our hands.
Yeah, look at this again. Just, what do we got here? Oh, Ame. Oh, okay, meanwhile on the other side of the map, okay. That was indeed just before XM was coming out on that top lane. So
I didn't even see that one.
I think we had all eyes obviously on XM getting caught out top. Not getting caught out top, of course, with the turnaround. But yeah, Arme was like, hey, it's all good. You didn't see that.
Crit's like,
You didn't see that.
Crit's like, all right, you guys, Amara, you're starting to die a little bit. You know, I got you. Don't worry.
I mean, that is the thing, right? Falcons, they do have two supports that can definitely do quite a bit of scaling.
For sure. But Extreme, I think they weathered one of the hardest parts of the game. Playing versus that first Aegis advantage that Falcons had, being able to get that successful team fight win, they're in a really good spot now. And Ame, he's got the Manta, he's got a kind of interesting build going for the crit too.
Okay.
Very early trying to get that extra damage. That's pretty cool, because I think with the Morph, he can do quite a bit when he's got this, because he can turn into the Weaver, get these double hits and stuff. He can turn into the Monkey King too, and be very elusive in the fight. So this is cool. If he's going to look to get involved early on, his damage is going to be high.
And are you going all the way for the Kanda at this point, or are you just keeping it as a small crit?
I've been seeing a lot of mixed kind of builds, because you don't have the new build where you don't have this adaptive strike maxed. I've been seeing more Datalisses, but we'll see. Let's see which one Ame does want to have.
Well, smoke time from Falcons. They're ready to go for the fight, despite the fact that those last few moves didn't go too strongly their way. They do have the full lineup. Actually, okay, apart from Skeeter. Skeeter is kind of focusing on the farm, so it's just the four of them.
It's a full BKB on XM. I mean, if he doesn't get chain stunned, he's going to have a good
difficult for Falcons to try and find this fight. They are going to attempt to do so. They missed the bushwhack, jump forward, they go for the spear, but the spear doesn't connect. And now they just turn, burst for Amar. XM's in with the BKB. The Supernova will be taken out by Falcons, but they've already lost two heroes, both Crit and Amar dead.
XM?
They'll turn over the wards, hit the balance strikes out, but Arme's able to turn to the Monkey King, return, use the balance strike against him. Beautiful lineup there coming in from Arme as he turns into the Monkey King, continues to chase forward. They're going to be able to catch the entirety of Falcons as Extreme get the team wipe.
XM. This is why he wanted the Beastmaster. He just runs through them. Yeah, he got the BKB right before the fight. He literally ran through, found Crit. He's like, I know who I'm scared of most. He finds Crit, completely deletes him, and Ame, really clutch. I love the way he's playing as this Morph now.
Yeah, check this out again. I mean, this was such a risky move for Falcons to make. They did have Skeeter joining them, but it took him some time to get over here, and indeed, unfortunately for Amar, a whiffed initiation. Sure, they kill the egg, but they don't kill much more.
No. And that was, to be honest with you, DOI maybe putting himself in a position that he didn't need to as this egg, so he dies for it. But they missed both initiations. The Mars ulti and the spear misses, and the bushwhack completely whiffs too. So XM finds a beautiful jump in onto the back line. Yeah, he's feeling himself now.
Usually Jin Q having a great time.
And look what he's queued up. He's queued up a Shadow Blade.
Okay.
He is 408. Yeah. He's 12 of the 13 kills this game.
He's going to sneak up and set up. He has been clutch. He's been his stuns have kind of recovered so much and gotten them into a lot of this position. Sure. But why the Shadow Blade rather than the Blink Dagger? If you're talking about getting the catch.
Because, Owen, the fist. It's Jin Q. You know he wants to use it. He's just trying to sneak. He's trying to be really pesky and sneak around these fights and stuff like that. But I also imagine he does want to get to some parts where he can use it, because I think they do also feel like they've weathered the storm of the hardest parts of this game. They are in a huge advantage now at this point. Ame now did go for that Dataless. I like it. I feel like the Conda just takes too slow. You don't have max adaptive until like level 20 anymore. And yeah, I love that he's being able to use the Monkey King, use the Weaver, and kind of turning them into them and bringing that action back to them. Falcons, they need to get a cleaner initiation the next time, and they need to chain stun XM, but even at this point, if they catch the chain stun, he's pretty durable.
Gotcha.
So for them, let's see what they look to slow down the pace for, because they do have Gleipnir Weaver, they have Gleipnir Monkey King, they're about to have Gleipnir on the Hoodwink. So they have good damage, it's just they're not that survivable on the side of Falcons this time around like they usually are.
Is under attack.
Here we go, Shadow Blade Lion.
Oh yeah.
What about fast time? So yeah, the Daedalus, the fastest that we've seen on this patch on the Morph. I imagine this Shadow Blade probably one of the faster ones we've seen on a Lion. Yeah, there we go as well.
Wait, so, who bought it? Who else bought? Who bought it?
Maybe it was this match. Wait, that doesn't work. How can you be 40 seconds faster than yourself? So it has to be another game. Go find it out. Who did it?
How am I going to find this? I'll just look up. Oh, I got this. Actually, I got this.
Somebody did it. I mean, there hasn't been that many Lion games.
That's exactly what I was going to look.
You haven't got too many Lion games to look through.
There's been like 4.
Yeah. I think maybe 6.
Whatever.
Also, so anyway, if you eventually get Silver Edge, does the Silver Edge bonus damage also cleave with the Fist of Death? I imagine it does, right? Well, what do you mean no? How's it not? You just get cleave for like 3 seconds.
Why are you asking me this? This is
Your
foolish.
finger that you put silver edge, you just smack him
That
in
is
the
not
face.
how he's gonna do it.
Yeah, Amar's dead. Crit. Is he getting out of this one? He's not. Jin
Nope.
Q, easy
Oh, he got
finger.
him. He hit him. He smacked him. Okay, wait, I'm finding the line. Okay, I got distracted.
This is looking rough for Falcons. They're now down 9k gold. They got to do something crazy to turn this one around. They've got the Gleipnir coming out on crit. Dead at the moment, of course. BKB is now there on Skeeter, so he can get a little more involved. But with the way the last few fights have been going, and we've seen how much of a comeback Armage's made. Second highest on the board. He's going to work his way towards the butterfly after the Daedalus, and then he's going to be an incredibly powerful right-clicking beast that Falcons, they don't really have any answers towards. I mean, Skeeter's queuing up the Daedalus, and we'll see when that butterfly does get revealed, or at least some of the components of it. I mean, yeah, he's already shown the Eagle song, so I wonder if Skeeter will see that and actually start working towards the MKB instead. We'll see where it goes.
He'll have to switch some stuff around.
Yeah.
But I think Falcons, they missed quite a lot of the timings that they wanted to be able to hit versus this Morphling lineup. The Beast and the Morph are just completely out of control at this point. They don't have many answers. Like I said, they have the damage, but their survivability is almost non-existent until
Radiant's
BKBs.
bottom tower is under attack.
And there's the BKBs on XM, and he's about to have a Shivas as well, too, to just be able to fight
He's
and
just
stand
massive.
around.
Yeah,
He's huge.
They'll be doing this again. You know, if
it's
they need
good.
to, they feel the need to sort of switch things around and get XM playing this mid Beastmaster. You know, he's showing just how good he is at it. And in a lane that could have been rough, sure, he kind of slightly lost out on the CS compared to the Monkey King, but he didn't get completely dumpstered. He was able to hit the jungle and yeah, completely could sort of take over the game. It was a bit of a slower ramp up for the team, but at this point they're in full control.
And overall, this Slardar Lion completely, honestly owned super hard. Like Jin Q, unstoppable at this point.
I mean, dude, look at this. What, 27 minutes in, he's got 6 finger stacks.
Yeah, killing it.
That's amazing.
And look at him farm.
Radiant structures.
That's the Shadow Blade also, right? You're able to farm it during the downtime very nicely because of the extra attack speed and perhaps set up for another gank. Jin Q.
He's got the boots of bearing. Now, so now with the boots of bearing, his support duties have been done. So now he can go for the fun stuff.
Look at him go. Oh, look at him go. Oh, nice.
I mean, they just can't get out on the map right now, Falcons. The way that XG is just moving across, they'll catch it, they'll kill you. And so I'm excited to see what Jin Q's up next. Let's see
This has to be the kind of best way that the switch up has happened, because yeah, the Slardar and the Lion both really excelled. That Enchantress ended up not being a problem for them whatsoever.
this is great stuff from Xtreme. And yeah, dude, he's going full Silver Edge next. I told you, it's the strat.
I mean, this is hype.
Because you do right, yeah, because you get what? How long is it that you get to switch to melee? It's for 20 seconds, right? 20
quite a
seconds.
bit of time.
You get the melee sort of capabilities. You have 50% cleave. So then for those 20 seconds, you pop the Silver Edge, come out with like this, what do you get on Silver Edge nowadays? What, plus 300 damage? So then you add that on your incredibly powerful right click already because of the extra damage from all these finger
300
slaps.
now.
And it's 300 plus damage on a Silver Edge.
It is, yeah, you're right. I actually forgot that.
You know what I mean? So you're cleaving with that as well. You're basically the new Kunkka.
Oh, and let's be honest, you could have bought a lot of different items after this point, so.
You know,
But it's still hype.
Kunkka, where are you at?
It's still hype.
He's nowhere. Nobody's picking him. He sucks.
He does.
No one's picked him up.
No one's picked him.
No one's picked up Kunkka. There's a new Kunkka in town, and he's got a big old finger. It's the Lion. Aghanim's done on XXS.
Cheese as well. Almost level 18. Top 3 cores, the supports also have transitioned, and overall for Falcons, you can see their posture. Amar has completely fallen off. This time, as we said, he was playing like that true 3 position. A couple whiffed initiations means that he's gotten nothing else so far. He has great cast range. So perhaps now at this point, he's going to be looking to catch them from outside of the base into the base with some of these spears to hope for a recovery in the game. Because these next few fights are incredibly complicated versus this Aegis and Cheese, and just overall versus the Morphling in the game, because the Morph has gotten away with getting to this stage where he neted to.
Dude, Jin Q's ready to get some solo kills now. He's just, sneaking around the map, seeing what he can find. They're grouped up, Falcons. They're not going to be caught out one by one. In fact, they may try to take a fight here with the 5 of them. It's hard, though.
It's not an easy one by any means. They have to burst one of these cores with every
They're going
disable
to try.
kills.
They're going to sell onto XM. They're going to go straight for the Beastmaster. XM's able to get the BKB off. They couldn't burst, and they're barely getting down to half HP. XM's able to turn with the raw over towards Malrine. Jin Q's looking for his target. Who does he want to go for? He's trying to chase down Snake King. Arme's picked up a triple kill. Jin Q, he's able to get the setup so they can find even more. The finger comes in. Arme follows up, gets the ult ultra kill as the Morphling. Falcons running out of buybacks as well. 4 of them dead, 3 of them dead for good. No opportunities to buy back. And the Extreme, they're going to come running down the mid lane. We'll see how much they want to push on
They
for.
can end this.
I mean, they could try to.
They've got 30 seconds to just go for
They
the tier
push so
4s.
fast here with this butterfly on
to tier
Arme.
4s.
They're closing it up.
They've got this.
20 seconds, what are they going to do? Yeah, they know it's over. GG's call, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to game 3. Extreme Gaming. Wow, what a game 2. What a play. What a switch up. Bringing the Beastmaster mid. XM absolutely comes through. But as we sort of hope for the panel, they have some concerns, Miss Terrorblade. Are you sort of with them on that? Or do you feel that maybe Arme sees something that we don't?
Maybe he does, but I've still just, not been the biggest fan. I know me and Lacoste probably are the biggest haters of the Terrorblade still in a lot of the situations. I think some players are the specialties, especially Radon and maybe Ame in some situations. But yes, good versus Sven, but all other 4 heroes are quite good versus Terrorblade, especially in the early game. So overall, I would say, yeah, XGWBG, they got to somehow slow pace of the game down so Ame is able to get this timing. And yes, exactly like Kezu was saying, actually, I was thinking the same thing. XXS and the supports have to pop off. Jinkyu, he is given opportunity. He's playing a Rubik. He is playing versus Jakiro. He's playing versus plethora of spells that he can get some awesome ones. So I'm looking at him because he kind of owned in that last game and was the dictator of the pace. So let's see what he's going to be able to get. Because, yeah, I think Falcons, they really did get their bread and butter.
Sure. Well, this Timbersaw pick, like, how much of a problem could this be for XGWBG if Amar's a good game?
I don't really see him ever have bad games on the Timber, and it's a last pick Timber into Terrorblade, which is it's a fantastic matchup through most stages of the game. You bully him out of the lane early on, you have massive damage even in the later stages, and you're just hard to kill. And looking at the damage overall from XGWBG, they do not have that big burst. It's really quite slow.
Now, let's see. XM. Last game was able to bring it with the Beastmaster in the mid. Let's see what he can do with his Venge mid.
He took the Soul Fragment.
Who?
Terrorblade.
Oh, okay.
So not the minimum Sunder. He's going to be playing around this one. I've still been seeing it back and forth between this one. This one I don't see taking that often now, but wants to be able to just farm and just slow down and farm and farm and farm. Because if he does get the farm, especially on some of these timings, I think Butterfly, Scotty are 2 of the amazing timings. Of course, that's a lot of gold, but when you're playing versus Sven, Butterfly tends to be one of the keys as crit. A double courier snipe with the double attack.
Oh, there you go. Goodbye to the salve there. DY's not going to be able to get that out to him. We saw him make a nice little play at the other game where he was able to harass, get low, and have his salve out. This time he went up that option.
Doesn't mean that Amar's start is going to be quite a bit slower, since he is going to be doing some creep cutting shenanigans, at least at the start here. But he's going to be able to get that lane back as long as Amar doesn't die at the level 1, which he does look okay. Mid. I haven't seen this matchup, I don't think. I think maybe I saw it once.
A lot of people are Venge mid against the Pango mid.
Yeah, I think Venge should be pretty okay. At least to get the farm. Pango can kill the Venge quite a bit easier, I would say, with rotations, especially once the 6 comes out, but been seeing XM playing it a couple more games here as this Vengeful Spirit. And it does fit around timings of hitting late game timings, buffing up the Terrorblade and stuff like that too, so.
Sure, and do you feel for the most part that is kind of the plan here from XGWBG? They're looking towards that late game? Yeah. They want to try and keep this game going as long as possible and eventually outscale the Sven. Yeah,
it does feel like it, because they do have this reset positioning and stuff like that with the Venge. Even if he does die, once you get Aghanims, you can always protect your Terrorblade to get these Sunders and kite the Sven. So I'd imagine that is what they are looking for. These lanes, overall TB, not getting bullied. Venge doing well, and the top lane overall for Centaur, it should be pretty good. So the 3 lanes do look like they should be able to farm pretty decently on the side of XGWBG this time around. Bottom could get volatile if there's just some mistakes to come out from DY in particular, and see what Crit's able to do on the 4 Jakiro, because been seeing more and more of this Jakiro being flexed to 4 and 5 position.
Do you like it? Do you feel the hero's pretty strong right now?
Yeah, feels great. The level 2 timing that you have with Liquid Frost and Dual Breath is an immense amount of damage. I'm still a little bit of a question on the 4 position, but I think it can work in a lot of these games. Sure. Now, he is versus a Rubik, so if you don't ban the Rubik in a lot of situations, then you do have to deal with that repercussion of he's gonna get Ice Paths, he's gonna get good spell steals.
Yeah, well, you feel like when you put this hero in the 4 position, it's not necessarily like this hero can do that much more with farm compared to from the 5, or
it's not that flashy either, right? You're not gonna carry. In most situations, I would say like 90% as a Jakiro, you know? Your best thing is like an Aghanims kind of build, which isn't always the best either.
Well, let's see. If anyone's going to do something flashy with it,
It is
Crit
Crit.
would be the lad to do so.
That is true, and there is reasons why they wanted to pick it. You know,
Yep.
yes, you gave the Rubik spells to steal, but he's playing versus Phoenix, so there's going to be double hits. There's going to be coverage as well too for him to, you know, get some good burst damage to catch heroes. Success. We'll be okay.
And I imagine for XM this game, I mean, as Avenge, the build's not going to differ necessarily too much, right, when you're playing it mid compared to like some sort of offlane or carry core. It's still going to be like Axe Rush into
Axe
Manta,
that's what it
Dragon Lance.
feels. Yeah, something along those lines. It usually tends to be.
There's not sort of any sort of secret tech you can do when you go mid and rush some sort of crazy potent item, make plays with.
It could be something like Axe BKB maybe this
BKB,
game, because he's playing versus the Pango, so if he wants to act as like the pseudo front, it's obviously not ideal, but it could be something that he feels necessary just because Pango sometimes just forces people to go BKB when you don't want to.
See though, so far, doing very good here, XM.
Yep.
25 and 6 against the 22 and 1, so having a slight advantage here against Malorine's Pango so far, which not a lot of heroes are able to do so.
Oh, and he just masses the stats, right? Playing this Universal. Has even extra double branches on top of his wand, so eats the spam, has the stick charge just to be able to turn and fight potentially versus Malorine bottom. Why? We'll get a nice dive and actually connects the pole with that dive. That was nicely done. It's a half pole as well, so we'll be able to deny most of that wave. Amar wants to contest and not lose the money creep.
Out of all the lanes so far, definitely Skeeter that's having a slightly rougher time. Looking back at kind of the lane setups, was this always going to be expected that the Sven was going to have the tougher time during the laning phase?
I feel like it's a pretty free lane for the Centaur and the Rubik overall, unless XXS just makes a huge mistake stepping up, because they're just, these two don't dish out the most damage unless Snake finds some like amazing positioning with the creep. So yeah, I would say it would be a little bit slower for Skeeter. He's actually got double bracer as well too, which you don't see always, but since it's Sven with his new, you know, facet thing, since you get all this bonus damage from this, it does feel a little bit better to go on something like the Sven.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Should be able to start catching back up though.
Yeah, we're going to have a move for the Twin Gate here. DY.
Ooh, this could catch Skitter off guard here. He does have Healing Lotus. He has a lot of HP, but they're diving.
And can they dive the tower? They definitely can dive for DY. He's going to set up for XXS to close it, but a good stun for Skeeter holds back the Centaur. Marine in return comes in with the TP at the same time. Falcons, they'll get aggressive onto Arme. They'll be able to take him down first. Immediately making that move, knowing that Arme has been left on his own. And when that move from DY didn't get them anything top, sure, it forced a reaction from Malrine, but that whole play made it very clear that Arme was completely on his own.
I wonder if they communicated as well, too, that Skeeter had gone for all these stat items as well, because it's a very tanky Sven with an ice armor, too. Yes, they have magic damage that comes highly between the three of them, but that is not an easy target to bring down. And yeah, immediately they capitalize on it, so Ame gonna get bullied out of the lane pretty early here now. Amar being able to get this kill means that level 6 is gonna come that much faster. He's just gonna leave the lane. Ame actually just TP's top to perhaps try to catch Skeeter off guard, but he's tanky.
Yeah, I mean, can they really try and kill the Sven?
It's very unlikely.
It's kind of tough. I mean, bottom lane is just not really a place to be.
Okay,
GQ tried to kind of to get some XP, but he gets taken out.
They brought 4 now. They swung in with XM as well.
Sure, they put the meta, they get the push on. So they get the kill, they take down Skeeter, they're able to get some damage onto the tier 1. Yeah, bottom lane definitely going to become an area for actually WBG where they probably don't want to be turning up to unless they bring a lot of numbers. It's the same to be said for this top lane from Falcon's side of things. This tower should be falling. Marine's getting some pressure on the mid at the same time.
Yeah, I like that XM did this kind of move where he walked top because then he saves this TP to be able to hold the tower a little bit longer here. Marine is trying to push as much as possible, keep that catapult alive, so it's going to be quite a significant amount of damage onto this tower.
On
and
top,
they didn't finish the top tower.
They did not. Skeeter's able to return to the lane. They actually keep this tier 1 tower alive for a little bit longer.
They're afraid of crit and the TP rotation now that Amar is getting away with almost level 6. They can be in trouble if they dive up here on the side of XGWBG. Crit also, I see holding... Yeah, he can hold for Ice Path, so he can get that extra lockdown. Wisdom Rune is still available on the right side. Will take them a moment to get back to get there as Amar. That's the level 6. Top net worth. Good job, Jenkins. You called it. Congratulations. The last pick Timber is top net worth.
Let's see if he's able to keep that position. The push in on the bottom lane. I mean, yeah.
It's hard to bully him. They just don't have burst, really.
Yeah, who comes down here? Who does anything to annoy Amar right now? It feels like no one. I mean, DY, he's dead.
He is dead. Goodbye.
I think you just don't want to come down here.
No, nobody wants to be here.
No, not at all. It's a killing spree for Amar. He's having an easy start.
And it's a really good Timber game. Playing versus Terrorblade, playing all of these heroes that he can burst pretty easily and not get bursted. Not get burst from. I know bursted is not a word, sorry.
Radiant's bottom tower
But the other three
is
net
under
worths are
attack.
looking pretty good. Even though Ame was, pressured out a little bit here, he is having a better time than Skeeter. But Skeeter, 3 points in cleave, can absolutely recover. And imagine they're going to have some stacks at the ready for him as well to back up to. Not too bad, though, for actually WBG. It's just, yeah, they have a timber issue, so try to avoid this timber at all times, or bring it literally everything to him. And how close is Xingqiu to 6? You need Xingqiu to... Once Xingqiu gets 6, then you have kill potential more than likely on the timber, but he has to get a good steal. Oh, double bounty. Nice money.
The tower's gone.
Radiant's bottom tower
Let's see where
has
Amar looks to
fallen.
go. They might go through this portal. Skeeter. He's getting stalked up top. The TPs are coming in.
Let's see what
XXS
they
is
can
not
find.
F6. There's no stampede available.
Skeeter can start this when he wants to with the stun. Buy time for the rest of the team to come in. There's the stun into God's strength. XXS will be able to stun and create a little bit of distance. He's pretty speedy here with the phase boots.
He gets away.
Into the trees, he is out. So
Nice move.
XXS able to live.
Very nice. Dodging the timber. That's the name of the game, it feels like, for the early game. Get that farm going for the side of XGWBG. That's cool. And Xingqiu, he's going to try to go for this more early game timing, I would say, for the Rubik as well. He's going down the vessel route, so wanting to have that extra kill threat. They want to find a solution for the timber saw.
I'm up. Try and chase this a little bit. DY's already used the dive. Hasn't got 6, of course, to protect himself.
Nice
Got
swap.
the swap, though. XM able to come
He's
in
got the
clutch,
steal.
keep DY alive.
It's a very good steal. The best one Xingqiu can find.
See if they've got enough burst to bring him down. So they get the timber chain away. Amar back over to the safety of Crit. XXS is trying to chase down Amar, but another timber chain keeps him at a safe distance. Amar gets away.
He's got the steal, though, so now they have kill threat on pretty much all. This is the burst damage they need, and they have the kill threat on all these tanky heroes, so pretty much perfect opportunity here for Xingqiu to make moves around the map now.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
XXS, this is a slow level 6 after a pretty successful lane for the Centaur. He's kind of just been forced to run around, so still not having that stampede online. Quite late.
Should be able to pick it up around the mid, but he's got a couple of heroes backing him up just in case he does get dove by Maureen. Maureen with the Rolling Thunder at ready. If he sees a chance to make a play.
They want the tower. They still got Catapult. They're going to send the Centaur to secure. Can Xingqiu get the deny like he got in the last game?
Sticking around for it. He can. He's a master of it.
He's so clutch. This last game, the game before, he was kind of that X factor. This one definitely has the potential with some of these steals.
He's going to have to settle for the swashbuckle for now.
What need have I?
He's got a lot of good ones this game. I mean, Pango ones, Timber ones, Jakiro ones are all fantastic, so.
Radiant are scanning.
Maureen looking to make a bit of a solo play here with the Invis rune.
Does he have any backup, though?
I mean, catching XM, if he's ever catch him around sort of the stair area where he can keep him trapped.
Still probably wants at least a +1. Because it's just definitely not the easiest.
Yeah, especially with TP backup coming in. It's not really going to be something that's going to happen
He's going
unless
to
they get
scout
someone
this.
else.
This could scout some type of smoke movement, perhaps.
They're hugging the tower. They're playing careful. XM and Xingqiu. Not going to reveal anything here.
Does have the smoke at the ready. Might look to make a move here. Snaking is looking to invade triangle, and yeah, there's the smoke.
I might just settle for the Enchantress if XM can get the swap.
And he can.
And he can.
Gets the heal off.
Setups there. They've got the burst here with the 4 of them. In fact, Ame's able to turn up and get the kill himself with that last hit.
Nicely done. Getting these earn charges, getting Xingqiu involved as well. Now he's got level 7 max nukes available. And overall, Ame, he's getting time to sit back and farm as a Terrorblade.
Farm between the two of them. And
Ooh, he's going to show up for the push, too.
Radiant's top tower.
I imagine Falcons is going to definitely look to defend this one here. They've got
TP's
all
coming
ultis
in.
ready. Macropire.
It's just going to get set down straight away to try and dissuade the push.
They'll back it up. They'll heal him up with the urn, too. I really love you. I like this build a lot, too, from Xingqiu. This is going to help a lot versus these tanky heroes early on. And XM is halfway to Ags. Some decent timings being hit. A 2k lead at the moment for Falcons, but most of that 2k lead is literally just Amar, if not all of it.
Which is not terrible news for Falcon.
No, definitely not.
If Amar's the man with the lead, he's probably going to get a lot done with it on the Timber.
Yep, but they do at some point want to be able to press a bit of a lead forward too, because this is a strong scaling draft that XGWBG does have. The backup of the Terrorblade with these auras, with the Phoenix, the supports scale very hard. Well, on the flip side, you know, Falcons, they do have, you know, the Enchantress with scales, but the Jakiro, I don't feel like it does as much. And the harder you get, you know, the more levels you get on Jakiro means the more, you know, the better the spells, of course, that the Rubik will be able to steal as the game progresses, too.
Yeah, definitely feels like overall a bit of a different position for Crit to be in, because he normally is on these heroes, right, that can kind of scale and solo carry the game.
Yeah, for sure.
A bit of a different vibe, this game.
So one of the slower ones that we do have, you know, 3-2, not too many kills right now. Blink now finished up on the Centaur, so can look to accelerate things a little bit if they'd like to on the side of XGWBG. How's the timing's looking on the side of Falcon? Still no Blink finished up yet for Maureen. Amar, he's going to go down an Ag's route to tank up, so slow pace from Falcons, which I feel like XGWBG, you know, with their type of draft, they're like,
I think so.
This doesn't feel bad.
You know, Arme's going to feel pretty confident being able to carry this as the game goes on.
If he can get to those like 2-3 item timings, you know, the Scotty butterfly kind of thing, it does make Sven's life difficult. We'll have to see how much Amar will be able to make up for that. Of course, with the big burst damage and that good matchup that he has versus the TV, but we shall see. Smoke coming out. As we said, Blink on XXS. They want to try to catch something. Xingqiu doesn't have the greatest of spells stolen right now, but obviously can find another one, depending on who they find.
Regeneration.
There's the two calls here, Skeeter and Maureen.
Got 4 here.
Do heavily outnumber them. They're going to try and get the opening onto Maureen, but he's in the trees. He's just going to roll out.
Shove the wave out as well.
Skeeter, is he out of this? He's going to try for the TP Stampede to close the gap. Can they get him with a stun? They cannot. Skeeter's out in time.
Oh, I think his phase boots were down or something. He didn't get the tree cut and able to be able to cross through. Something blocked XXS there.
Amazing what you found.
So the TP, they kite it out, and now that is a big move. And a lot of wasted time there from the side of XGWBG, and net worth starting to reflect it while all Falcons just hit creeps. And a Blink now from Maureen. So feeling like they can take advantage of the fact that Stampede was used, Meta was used. They definitely have a shot to be able to find somebody here. Just who is it going to be that they find?
Xingqiu wouldn't be the biggest of catches. They want to, you know, ideally find Arme, but Arme already backing off this top lane.
What is this creep from snaking here? He's just cutting behind the tier 2. Okay. I mean, Xingqiu will quickly take care of that one with a Fade Bolt.
Look at that, of course, Amar, no surprise, continue to break records this series. Minute and 46 faster than the patch fastest that we've seen, and that's how of a considerable amount of matches there, 33 games we're comparing it to. So crazy timings from Amar. You can see on the net worth just how far ahead he is of everyone else. In a game where not a lot's happened, the kills have been low, so it just goes to show just how efficiently Amar's able to use the map.
He got XP there. He saw XP go up, so he knows Xingqiu's in the area somewhere.
They've got the setup with the ice path. Amar's bringing in the burst. There'll be a swap coming in from XM to keep Xingqiu safe. Maureen jumps in with the shield crash. Stolen shield crash from Xingqiu, giving him a bit of a shield. It might just be enough to keep him alive. He's on the retreat. Maureen wants to continue the dive, though, and take Xingqiu down, as him and Snaking will be able to claim the kill. And of course, at the same time, Amar and Crit, they finish off XM to the side. They end up getting both of them.
They're starting to accelerate things with these timings, with that Ag's Timber looking to play around him. Great play from Amar. There's no ward there, but he got XP from the low ground, so he knows I'm going to dive up to look for whoever's there. Does find the Rubik, and XM does unfortunately kill himself.
He kind of gives himself up, yeah, indeed, with that swap trying to save him. It was close to being clutch. I mean, it was clutch in the sense that he might have saved Xingqiu. But with a swap like that, he was almost certainly dead, whatever happened to him. Xingqiu nearly living. Meanwhile, DY, he's going to get chased down. He's going to try for the TP, but Amar, he's in with the burst. Not enough, though. Oh, good escape there. Actually able to make it out just in time, DY.
The old Universal Timber would have had that one, but not the strength one, of course. So we'll be able to make himself out. 5-2. Falcons getting a bit of a momentum swing here. Let's see how XGWG looks to strike back versus that move.
Now, Arme's still farming strong, though.
He is.
He's up there. He's got the man to Dragon Lance, ready to finish that off into the Hurricane Pike, then the Butterfly. So looks to be a game where he's going to try and get away without the BKB for as long as possible.
I think he has to be honest with you. Like,
yeah,
at least
it would just slow his game down, slow down the scaling. If he goes BKB and turns into fights, he's just got to completely avoid fights and keep farming.
Yeah, I think so at least. But we'll see. He could be forced into a position where the fights just start coming to him very quickly, and he might have to go and deviate for that one. Because I would imagine Falcons are going to look to accelerate the pace, especially with how they're starting to get some momentum here. but we shall see which route he does go. Because Amar, he's just going to start waltzing it at Heroes. He does feel quite invulnerable as this Timber Saw right now with the Aghanims.
Yeah, the Timber Saw is definitely going to be quite the problem in these fights, and if he does ever find Arme is not going to be able to deal with him very well at all right now with how far ahead and how farmed Amar is.
They do have the Vessel finished up, so they do at least have that, but Jinkyu has to get, you know, he has to always have like one of these good spell stolens. The Chakram is always the best one to be able to have that kill threat because it's high pure burst. But there actually could be a realm. I was trying to think a lot more as we're going to wait a second. Here's Amar walking in versus everybody.
I mean, he knows they can't kill him. So he can pretty much walk where he wants, get whatever info he can.
So Hero, and this is actually pretty, I was trying to think of how they can bring down the Timber. If he steals Enchant, it might be one of the best steals also just to Dispel.
We'll take off the Ags.
Take off the Ags from that reactive armor. It sounds clowny, don't get me wrong, but XM looking to play around this Ags time in Malrina's.
He's going to jump it. He's not going to get the initial connection. He's actually going to settle for the Rubik first. Stampede will come out, will allow Jinkyu to break away a little bit. Actually keeps him far enough away that Malrin won't be able to continue to catch him. Now with the Supernova down, Falcons, they've got to back off.
It's a full disengage.
But that is a Supernova and a Stampede.
It is a lot used. And Malrin's back in. It's a big shield crash.
He goes straight back in. I mean, he's going to get caught by the stun. He's dead. Well, that was a bit of a wild move there. Goes straight back into the midst of them. I think he kind of overrated how much that shield crash shield would do for him.
I think he just thought he was gonna be invulnerable, but it's a lot of damage between 4 heroes with a wave of terror.
Oh, it's 5, right?
5, sorry.
Yeah. He won't be doing that again, Malrin.
Nope.
That's the mid tower going down. A bit of a mistake, a bit of a... As I say, I think he just really felt that he was going to be invincible. Spoiler, he was not.
Hey, actually, and Alme is feeling like they are going to just constantly fight, so he has switched to queue up the BKB for now. And how much of a barrier did he get? Because I mean,
he's the grouped up. He wants to get it. What happened there? Didn't really get it at all. Did he? Did he not land? Did something interrupt him? Or?
No. He landed.
He landed.
He had 800 something, I believe, but it still just wasn't enough.
It was just that the bar above his head didn't seem like it shot up when he landed, but I don't know.
XGWPG's looking to get some momentum off of this, trying to catch extra heroes. They have dual breast stolen with the Vessel.
Let's see if they can get the kills here. Jinkyu.
They can't hurt Amar until that shield's down. Ice Path catches 2.
I mean, the turning thing. Now DY is surely going to go down. No, he gets the dive off. DY's actually going to live.
Can Jinkyu get away?
He's going to find Jinkyu. So Malrin will come into the Rolling Thunder, set up on a Jinkyu. They'll also get on top of XM. So they do get the 2 of them after it all, and they'll be able to kill off XM's illusion immediately as well.
And it's right next to Roshan as the Rosh is shifting.
They're going to see it moving over, so why not move into the pit? They've got the God Strength ready to continue pushing on for the objectives. They'll take this Rosh very likely.
Oh, Extreme tried to punish the Timber split up, but then everybody just arrives, and now it actually just turns into a pretty sad scenario for them. Immediately as the Rosh shifts down, they tried to dish out all that damage, but Amar just tanks the brunt of it. And I'm just seeing these fights. Do you see how many spells they're throwing onto Jinkyu? They know how important this Rubik is.
They're going straight for the Rubik.
Macro, Pyre, Ice, literally throwing every spell. And I have to always talk about this too, is crit skill build. Not putting extra points in the Ice Path just yet. 4-1-4, so even if an Ice Path gets stolen, it's not as valuable. Still is a very good spell that you can get on this Rubik. And yeah, they're trying to get Jinkyu and messing him up. So now, with this Aegis, can back up, look for that Wisdom timing also, and gotten themselves this 4K lead for a moment.
Okay. Do you like the builder from DY? He's going to go for the big items. Atos into the Nullifier.
They need a Dispel versus this, so I don't blame him. That's going to take a while. He probably just feels like nobody else can buy it, though, because XM doesn't want to. The Terrorblade never wants to really get something like that, so it'll take a while, but that is one of those answers. I thought maybe he just goes like a Yule's or something like that, but wants to go for the big one.
Spark of vitality.
Yeah, and we'll see with the way the last few fights have been going. Arme very close to the BKB that he feels that he's forced to get rather than being able to go straight for the bigger item for the butterfly.
I think that's what he feels.
The pressure's stepping up a bit from Falcons, and he's absolutely right. It certainly is. Falcons getting more aggressive now that they have the Aegis and they can start pushing these tier 2s.
It'll definitely be a butterfly after that, but yes, then this will allow them to fight more under these instances of versus the Pango. Even a BKB queued up on the Centaur, and they're going to look for this fight. Everything is at the ready from Falcons, and they're going to smoke themselves as well.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So they'll be able to find the haster in here, Falcons. The next fight, Malorine's got that ready to roll with. I mean, Extreme, how do they themselves go about starting a fight? Is it purely you're looking at XM to make an aggressive swap? Or does he have to sit back and wait for the save?
Depends on who he sees.
Oh, mate.
mean? Considering it.
And they're being careful here at Extreme Gaming. WBG.
They found XM.
He's going to try and get the jump in. XM. Keep kind of Skeeter control for now. Skeeter's got to start running. The Metamorphosis that's enough to take him down. The once they've killed Skeeter, XM will die.
Falcons want to run.
They take the Aegis, yeah. With the Aegis being lost there on Skeeter, there's no more fight for Falcons to have. So, at the end of the day, sure, they lose an Aegis, but they do manage to kill XM off in the mid.
They get a kill, they force Meta, they force BKB, and that was a reveal of Ame's BKB where he didn't really get too much.
All right,
either,
so they just reset now?
Yeah, just reset. It's a little bit of a trade kind of instance here. Both teams probably not feeling too bad about it, as a BKB is about to come up for the Centaur too, so they do have an extra way to be able to fight, and they do have a timing maybe where they can look for a fight now that Rolling Thunder and that God Strength is down. I keep checking crit. Is he... Wait. Am I blind or something here?
What do we got?
Couriers? No, I'm just checking these couriers. Oh,
Stop on the courier.
He had his force staff just sitting on the courier for like 4 minutes. I just was a little confused. I was like, what's going on? Crit has arcane boots and nothing else. It was very confusing, but yeah, now he's got it delivered. And he will go down that route of Ags. So there's no other build that you can really go on these 4 position Jakiros if you want to be a scaling 4. It's a low kill game, but very, very like methodical kind of movements that are coming out. You know, Falcons trying to keep this lead.
I mean, yeah, that's because they're
trying to keep this, keep it not growing too much either.
Yeah, they're progressing much better as a team, Falcons, but Ame's still doing Ame things. So it really is a question of how much you believe in Ame to be able to carry this game on his Terrorblade.
It is a very, very much so a 4 protect 1 draft of the old days. You know, they have this Venge aura to buff him up and kind of stuff like that. They're going to get all these things to buff him. Yeah,
it's all on Ame. Now the question, I mean, do you feel in this sort of day and age in this patch? Does 4 protect 1 kind of strats, are they working, or is it how risky are they at the moment?
They're definitely risky, but it can work. Especially on like the super carries. Terrorblade, like I said earlier, you know, a little bit of question still for me. I'm not super confident in this hero always, but like this hero's like Morphling and stuff like that. Those are absolutely these 4 protect ones that can work. God Strength active.
Yeah, Skeeter wants to fight, and they're gonna find XM. They're straining on the jump on him. There's no save for him at all. XM's gone. We'll see XXS try and fight back. They'll put the Stampede, trying to get XM's illusion out of it, but Skeeter's able to cut it down with the God Strength. Supernova's there. The Falcons go back off. Amai's going to get tripped up by the stun. Will he get caught in the Supernova stun? No. He's able to break out in time, keep his distance.
BKB's now looking awkward. They just literally see Ame BKB, and they just immediately disengage on him, and they tip him. Because it's a meta BKB used, and that BKB's starting to go down rather than having this type of farming item. Falcons is playing around that BKB perfectly.
I think they are, and honestly, kind of the few fights where he has you know, felt pressure to pop it. There've not really been fights where Falcons have been on top of him, so it's kind of arguable how much it's actually protected.
Yeah, he's scared of the instant, like the blow up. Because if he gets caught from 1 stun, there could be a follow-up stun, and then he just dies instantly. So I can understand why he's popping it, but it's still, he is maybe using it a little bit early in some of these. But it's tough. It's not easy to just hold off versus a lot of chain stun that Falcons has. Chain stun and burst.
I mean, Falcons, once they are winning these fights, you know, they're not able to kind of progress the game too much, right? Tier 2s are still being held up. So I think Ame's not going to be too fussed in the fact that sure he's using these BKBs, they're not getting any kills.
Sure.
But Falcons do keep backing away. But Ame's likely to be able to get his butterfly done in pretty reasonable time still, despite kind of taking that step back to get the BKB first.
I just don't know if he can do it on his own versus these 3 tanky bruisers. You know, this is the Falcons kind of strategy that they do go for a lot of times. Sven's going to have, let's just say as we get to like later stages as well too, I'm trying to think about it, is when Sven has the shard, being able to protect his allies as well. Pango's going to be barriering like crazier with shield crashed, and Timbersaw is always a tough target for TB to focus. So a single target TB versus 3 tanky cores, even though Ame is farming, it doesn't feel like easy for him at all.
Sure, they are going to be incredibly hard to take down. It feels like a game that, you know, for it to be on sort of even footing and the chances for Ame to be pretty good, he kind of need to be an item ahead.
An item, yeah, and he is starting to get pretty big, so we'll see. Butterfly, maybe Scotty, and maybe you have to go a big damage item. Maybe Butterfly Daedalus could be a choice that he has just to pierce through these tanky guys. We'll see. Because that lead, it's not growing massively, but it is growing and growing ever so slightly here for Falcons. XP and gold. And their team fight is getting quite scary as well too. I believe that the Aghanims is halfway there for crit. Maureen has one, so.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And seeing them itemizing also just to deal with the physical damage. I'm seeing AC queued up on the Pango. They've got Shivas already for a Marp, Solar Crests and stuff too, so they're getting very tanky versus a Terrorblade, who doesn't have the most of backup from his allies, because XM is really, really starting to fall behind here on this Venge.
Dire's top tower is under
Yeah, can
attack.
definitely be the case with this hero, right?
It can be.
You get this act, and unless you're finding a lot of action, a lot of kills, even the fact that sure, when you die, you're still able to sort of get something out of the map with the illusion. I mean, a lot of the times, obviously, Falcons have also been able to kill the illusion, but you're just never able to farm that fast, right? You're just never going to keep up with these other heroes in the game.
No, definitely not. And he just has to play defensively at this point because I think 3 fights in a row, Falcons has instantly jumped on the Venge when they see him.
Yeah,
so.
honestly, at this point, the amount of damage that he's actually going to be able to do is kind of so little. I think the most important thing is he sort of survives and he can get the swap off to save Arme.
Yeah, he's an aura and a swap, essentially, at this point.
He needs to be ready to keep this Terrorblade alive.
Yep. And he does have 15 talent, so it is a big increase, of course, that comes in. It is minus 10 armor whenever he throws the Wave of Terror, so yeah, he has to survive just to be able to buff up Arme. Because Arme, he does have a lot of work to do. Versus all these tanky cores. Sven now has hit 20 as well, so extra Warcry armor, and Skeeter, he's queued up the shard as well, too. So they're hitting quite a bit of timings here as well, too, to be able to accelerate things even more, because Roche is probably going to be up for that next fight, and
they can check it out.
They'll have shard on Skeeter, so extra armor for everybody.
Damage.
And an amp damage, so... See what XGWBG are going to be able to do, even though they have been able to kind of slow things down a little bit. Doesn't feel the easiest for poor Arme here on his own.
They'll be able to sort of nullify some of the damage output of Falcons themselves
Almost
pretty
Crimson.
soon. Yeah, Crimson being closed in upon by XXS.
It'll help a bit, but it is versus Sven, who is the heavy hitter.
Big, hard
Kinda
hits
just goes
rather
through
than high frequency, little damage. Yeah, for sure.
It'll definitely
going to be hitting hard.
It'll definitely protect a little, but yeah, there's a ton of damage that's going to be coming out from Amar and from Skitter. And so far, Amar 504. This last big timber has been kind of unaddressed. And Roche hits up. Crit's going to scout it.
Oh, XXS. Woohoo!
Quick blink.
Very, very quick blink. Yeah, he was ready for that one, XXS.
They're trying to farm to slow things, especially
he's
for the
trying to find a nullifier, DY.
They're going to get a Roche out of this, and DY will be able to get himself out of there. But this Roche is 100% Falcons.
They can look to push down this top lane. Still yet to be able to get the tier 2s, you know. Despite the lead that they have, Falcons, XGWBG have been holding the defenses.
Yeah, definitely. Just not getting multiple scaling heroes.
Just the Terror.
Falcons is getting multiple scaling heroes.
Butterfly should be there for the next defense.
Oh, Jin-Q spotted.
He's dead.
Super dead. Been a while since we saw a kill.
Yeah, that's true. It's 30 minutes. It's only 3 to 10.
When was the last kill, actually?
That's pretty wild.
It's been, what, 5 minutes since a kill? XM in around the triangle, I believe it was, and then XM before that as well, too. Yeah, it's been quiet, but it's been, you know, Falcons getting progressive momentum.
Yeah, there's Jin-Q going down again. No, there's nothing going on, so we thought we might as well show you boys and girls a replay.
Yep. For Jin-Q. Falcons is growing and growing. Butterfly timing is going to be there, but can it be enough to deal with everybody? 3 tanky cores and tanky supports, with an Aghanims now finished up on crit too, to be able to bypass, of course, versus these BKBs that were purchased.
Let's see where Arme goes next. He said it's going to be kind of interesting. Does he favor the Skadi? Does he favor the Daedalus for the raw
like damage? I don't even see him really doing much damage, because when Warcry's popped, I think everybody's sitting over 30 to 40 armor.
He's just going to opt to finish up the Hurricane Pike so he can get a bit more positioning. So nothing crazy coming after the Butterflies. He's still going to need time. He's going to need a lot of time. It's getting very close to the point where it's looking like Falcons, they might not give this game much more time at all. DY did get his item finished. There's the Nullifier out on the Phoenix.
He sold his other item.
He sold the Atos
for the Nullifier.
Well, that's quite a hit to his net worth. But
that signs of desperation.
It definitely is right.
They're like, we need to deal with Amar somehow.
Sure. Okay, so a surprise Nullifier.
But are they going to even bring him down? Because he does have BKB.
Oh. Well, there goes that plan.
there goes that plan. And everything as well, too.
He's Atos for this.
So they have to somehow chain stun him before he can get anything off.
Okay.
Oh, gosh. This is difficult.
Oh, well. How much gold is half an Atos nowadays anyway? It was what, minus 1,000 gold? Minus 1,125 gold there, unfortunately, for DY.
Falcons all at the ready. Actually, WBG looking for the angle.
They are.
The illusion rune's being baited.
What can they do with it?
Oh,
He's ready for that one, and now he's ready to roll. Now what do they do? I mean, Arme's popped the Metamorphosis. He's trying to fight. XM's just got to run.
It looks like full panic right now.
Falcons are backing off indeed. They're respecting the Supernova.
That's all the ults, though, from the side of XGWBG just to run.
He's got BKB and TP XXS, so he may be able to get out of this. He can. Very nice defensive moves. The Supernova kind of forces them to back off. Sure, XXS is split from the team, but that's part of the plan. They chase him. He's always going to be able to BKB TP. So XGWBG, they don't lose anyone.
Yeah, but they use everything to just disengage and not win a fight. Meta's down, BKBs are down, Egg is down, Stampede's down.
They've still got BKB on Armin. He kept his cool that fight. All right. He didn't pop it.
But he can't fight without Meta.
Sure, but he probably doesn't want to fight anyway.
Sure.
So,
all right, at least they get away. At least nobody dies. I guess that's
nobody dies. Nobody dies. They've got a full Daedalus on Skeeter, so his items continue to fly out. But yeah, nobody dies.
They have Rolling Thunder back up though, so they can look to fight again. What did Jin Q get? He got Ice Path. All right, pretty decent steal. That was, I mean, that fight kind of summed up this game a little bit, right? It's 3-10. Nobody dies in a 5v5.
Yeah, nobody dies. This has got to be actually one of the lower kill games, hasn't it? This is actually one of the lower kill games.
AC finished up. Malrine, even tankier.
Amar's ready to go in. He's had enough. He's ready to find some action. Ready to find some good things. You catch him in the stun. It's a pretty good long stun, but he's so tanky. There's just no chance of killing him. XM, he's caught on the front. He's dead though once. The illusion will be able to swap out the side, but Malrine's going to go chasing after him with the Rolling Thunder, and they'll be able to pop the illusion as well.
Malrine,
they'll keep the push going. They get the catch onto Malrine, but indeed he's back up to full HP. Able to jump away. Skeeter. Oh, beautiful angle there. Comes in with a cleave.
And that's it.
And that's Arme out of the game. No buyback.
That's pretty much, I mean, Falcons just waiting to strike. And they strike hard.
Yep.
60 seconds that they can go for at least 2 sets.
Not a flashy win, a very slow, careful win, but a win nonetheless by the looks of it. I mean, I don't know what XGWBG is going to be able to do with just the two of them alive. No Arme, no Terrorblade for 50 seconds, and he's all their farm. He's all their carry potential off the map.
I'm such a Terrorblade hater. I just feel bad for Arme. Yeah. He hasn't been able to do much of anything. They just disengage from him. They run from him. Every single meta feels like it's just been him to meta and run. Or meta BKB and run away. Falcons just playing versus it perfectly.
Oh, Falcons, they'll take the full set of racks bottom. They'll take the melee racks mid, and they'll back off.
Yeah. The game does not end, but it does feel pretty close to it.
Sure. We did get more kills on the board, though. We did. That's something.
Couple more.
13-3 here, 34 minutes in.
And we did see the Nullifier come out. It's just the problem was they don't have the follow-up because meta wasn't up, and they probably didn't have the damage even with that meta. And then he just popped. Yeah, he can just pop BKB and reset. He didn't even have to actually use it there.
Yeah, I'm considering what to buy next. He had the Daedalus queued up, and now he's like, maybe the Satanic.
I don't know what he buys.
I don't know what he buys.
I'm not sure. It's tough to see what's going to really fix the situation here at this point, as everybody's just running around with what feels like 50 armor once they get Warcry up on the side of Falcons. I know it's important, yeah. The Warcry, of course, undispellable. So even if the Nullifier goes off to get the reactive armor, that always is going to come out to protect them, etc. Blah, blah, blah. So Falcons looking to strike again. Everything's up at the ready. Amar 706, as we said, the last big timber has done its job perfectly. Its itemization has been beautiful as well, and they're all grouped up waiting, just waiting for this fight to come to them.
Definitely Amar sending quite the reminder to all the other teams watching to not forget about his Timber Saw. Especially when you've got a draft.
Especially when you have TB.
Yeah, not going to do too hot against a Timber. No. You let Amar get this, you're not going to have a good time against him.
No. Could be the final clash here. Smoke on smoke.
Oh, mate, he's on the front. No, keep his cool, put the meta. He's going to get caught by the Ice Puff and the Macropire. Supernova's down. They're able to take Malrine out.
Nice play.
This time around, the ults are popped. Everything's sort of popped by XGWBG, but they do get something big out of it. They kill Malrine off. 100-0
him in that stun, right? I think they've been doing that. I think that's the third time I saw them do it. The coverage of an Ice Path into an instant swap. Q doesn't have it anymore, but nice catch.
Yeah, it's going to keep the game going.
Keeps
Slow Falcons down.
Perhaps allow Ame to get that next item that he definitely needs.
Do you imagine indeed he will continue to settle with the Satanic because he was flicking between them? Do you feel that it is better for him to just build so that he can't get burst?
I just feel like he doesn't do damage though. I feel like his damage is still quite little, but maybe it is the right choice. You know, it's tough to say. It really is hard to say.
Probably looking towards both of them, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's very difficult to say, really.
Now, I'd like to believe that, you know, Ame, he's still pretty confident he's got this. He's like telling the boys, like, guys, calm down. Just let me get my item. We're going to win this game. I believe, you know, Ame believes. He does. He's like, look at my farm. I can do this. He's got a point to prove. He wants to show them that Terrorblade is good. It can work. And he wants to be able to play it again here in this tournament, so he's going to make a case for it.
Like I said, I am a hater.
do.
I do think the hero can work. It just they left leaving the timber, and also Pango's pretty good versus Terrorblade in all situations too. So I just it does feel like he put himself in a harder position than maybe necessary. But either way, that's what happens sometimes. And so far, Falcons they have just been playing pretty damn beautiful, right? Like they've been playing just kind of cutting things out constantly, waiting for certain timings every single one of these hits, and all of their hits have been pretty decisive. There's only been 4 kills that XGWG have been able to get. Not even supports are really dying on the side of Falcons.
Yeah.
What's the next item? Amar. Kayasha.
Kayasha, right? Yeah, he's got it done.
Now, big spell amp, so his spells are going to hurt a lot now.
Ooh, they might lose a support here. DY.
Instant death.
Yeah, he's going to get clipped by the Rolling Thunder. There was the God Strength pop, though, so the rest can get out. But indeed, the jump forward with the shield crash causes the bash to fly out for the swashbuckles. Will trip up XM. They'll kill him off twice there. And there's Illusion. Xingqiu stole God Strength. I don't think he's going to be able to do much with that one.
Just gets kaboomed by this man.
That's what Skeeter has to think about. You steal my ult, I'll steal your life.
Boom. Has fallen.
Dead in an instant.
And that's what he had to say about that one, Skeeter.
Poor XM. He got caught by a bash. He literally had BKB. Gets caught from a bash from just some like shield crash swashbuckle. Can't use it. Dies outside the base. Bam. Oh, man, these vent crits are satisfying.
Yeah, what was that about like 1800 damage coming out with that one onto the poor old Rubik. That's pretty much his entire HP bar gone.
And playing it as safe as possible. 30 seconds, Roche will be up. They're all positioned up here. They even have these aggressive wards already placed out. Double wards kind of placed out in the triangle to watch if there's any movement. So they're absolutely ready for XGWBG when they come over here. Crit's got 2 wards ready.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, man. Crit was trying to hunt him.
Is under attack. Dire are scanning.
Still, at this point, to be able to not be, they're not forced into the high ground of their base, XGWBG. They're still able to get out.
Got some neutral items, at the least.
Falcons watching from the side. Stepping quite far out on this lane here, XGWBG.
Who's the target that you want to initially go for, though? I've just been asking myself this over and over. You haven't been able to find the supports in the back because they have these 3 bruisers starting the fights every time, and you just can't really 100-0 any of these 3 bruisers.
I mean,
got Malrine once.
Can't sneak a Roche, sure.
You can baby burst Malrine if he's out of position.
They're trying to sneak this.
They do kill it fast.
They're going to be able to sneak this.
Oh, this is cool.
All right, they may be 23k gold behind, down 4 to 16 and 40 minutes in. Oh, Roshan's trying to leave. He's not going to be able to. They're able to get the Roshan. Well, there you go. A bit of a turn up for the books there.
Oh, but it did switch at the last second there, huh? It wasn't Aghanim's blessing, but it did switch to daytime for a second, so it is a refresher shard that does come out. So.
Is that better or worse for them? Was there any sort of hype ags that would have been pretty nice for them to get?
I mean, the Ags...
Dude, maybe the Ag Centaur. Get Arme in the cart, right? Keep
there's too much theorycraft. My brain's going to break if I really start going into it. Because they could have gone the Ags on the Phoenix and then refreshed the meta for the Terrorblade and stuff like that. And there's a million different things they could have done. Either way, they'll have to deal with the fact that they're
there's no way Arme wants to go inside this egg.
But you know what I'm saying.
You don't want to go in this...
Of course
to be fair, saying that, though, I don't think we've seen many Supernovas get popped, actually. Nope. They have been running away from them this game.
It's just been disengaged.
So the Supernovas actually, maybe it is kind of a safe place. I mean,
depends, there's a million ways you can theorycraft stuff like that, so. Because you could potentially be like, oh, Xingqiu with an Aghanim, like if he gets double spell steals and stuff like that, right?
Well,
so
what is the big Ag steal this game?
It's not a big Ag, it's just frequency. Having 2 spells and
sure.
being able to do. I mean, Macropyre would be the big one, but. Either way, not gonna happen. They got the refresher shard to swap at the last second there, but it's a sneaky move.
Honestly, they're holding on though. Like that's the crazy thing. It's literally 4 to 16.
But are they getting stronger? That's my thing. Is Ame actually gonna be able to do it?
Well, what's he got now? He's still queuing up the Satanic.
Okay.
He's relatively close to it.
Okay. I mean, let's see. It's hard to see how he is gonna be able to do it because they're all just so durable. But
is under attack.
I mean, as long as Falcons don't hit the Ancient. XG won't lose.
So if they don't play Dota, got it.
Well, I mean, they're kind of chilling right now. They're not being the most proactive.
True. Did just get an MVP.
Maybe they're that scared of Arme. Maybe they're terrified of him. They're like, guys, we can't end. Look at this Terrorblade. They're terrified. They're hiding from him.
I don't think so.
Well, what are they? What's the plan? I mean, he's got an Aegis. They're like, I think Falcons probably are like, at least, let's wait out the Aegis.
They're chill. If they come outside, they'll fight them. If they see an opportunity where XGWG was to fight, they'll take it. But XGWG is not coming to them, so they'll chill. The swap might come, though. XM.
Oh, XM, what can he find? Mars.
Angle.
A bit of a tough one to take down.
Definitely. They have to get the lift off instantly as the swap comes down and somehow chain stun him before BKB, because if he gets BKB off, he lives. And yeah, they're playing it patient. They still have those 2 wards that they placed earlier around the triangle. Yeah, that one and the one above.
Yeah, what big items are Falcons closing in on? Well, Crit's going for his E-Blade.
I think Skeeter also just making sure he has the buyback. He did finish up MKB. He's 100 gold away. They're finishing up next big items. So I don't think that they're really too... obviously, it's unfortunate that they didn't get the Roche for themselves, but I don't think that they're too fussed by any means.
No, they're like, we're getting more out of the map.
Yeah,
Let's just wait out the Aegis, get our next round of items, and then maybe look to go for the game end.
Also, they were accumulating to build up to a block of cheese, Owen. So they did get denied the block of cheese. They are. I think they're a small. They're a couple components away. They're like. I think that they're bottom though. I think there's enough lotuses in the pool. Whatever. They're close to having one if they ever got the cheese, but it didn't get happening in the bubble.
Well, that's what. I mean, they're not only going to wait until that Aegis expires. They're going to wait until the Roshan's back up. They want the block of cheese before the game
look for fights
comes to a finish.
If it's around their vision, they can fight pretty easily.
I mean, they're thinking, like, can we go on a Mar? The answer is no. XM, he's going to die. The rest of them, they need to get out of there. Stampede's got to be popped. They will get everybody else back to safety.
Just to run away. Gold lead just continues to go up.
Continue to stat up, actually. He's got the Satanic. He's going for the Scardy next, so...
Okay.
He wants to be as beefy as possible, have a bit of an answer to that regen, but still, indeed, not with necessarily a big... kind of damage out like a Daedalus. Which is fine. You know, this is, of course, probably the more standard build-up on a Terrorblade, right? But it's, as you say, just a question of whether it's going to be able to do enough to kill anyone.
They're all getting even tankier. Amar, close to having a overwhelming blink if he'd like to go down that route as well, too. Even the supports just getting tankier and tankier, so yeah, we'll see. As you said, so it was incredibly difficult. Amar, considering. I imagine it'll be the Timber Chain, but does he want to go for the big play of damage? He's focused on farming. And so is the rest of Falcons, as we see that Aegis power play, of course. It's a 5k differential that they've been able to farm up on Falcons, and that Aegis is going to get reclaimed soon.
That's true. That's true. But, you know, it's all relative. You know, they're like, hey, well, we got the Aegis, we lost 5k more in the gold difference between us, but we were already 23k gold behind, so, you know, what's an extra 5k?
Sure.
It's nothing.
It's a lot. Amar, yeah, he's still hasn't chosen that talent.
He doesn't like either.
No.
They're both pretty boring, actually, aren't they?
No.
Well,
Timber Chain one is
a lot of range.
It's so fast now. I love it. Actually, it's so nice how fast it is. Either way, they're just farming up. Aegis is reclaimed. I keep checking these. I think they have it. I think they have enough for the block.
Oh, they got the block of cheese.
They need two more. I think 2 more lotuses. I'm having trouble doing math.
Dude, I mean, at this point, you don't end
just to get the block of cheese.
You really don't. You've got to get that block of cheese first. Otherwise, the win doesn't count. It actually, it's a death loss if you win without block of cheese at this point.
We've only had one, right? I believe it was G2IG that had one during the play.
We did have one. Yeah, we did indeed.
They want to get one under their belt too.
And they did win. So it's 100% win rate. So if you want to be super certain about getting the win, you make that block of cheese.
That's true.
And, they'll be able to do that in what? A couple of minutes. We'll see when Roshan's going to be back up.
Yep. Because yeah, you need 3 greater healing lotuses. They have 2, and then they have the great healing lotus, and then there's 3 more bottom and 2 more. So yeah, there's enough. So
who wants to block of cheese? Is it Amar?
I think he's invulnerable. I mean, who cares? Just give it any of the 3 cores. Malrine, actually, honestly, because he's the only one who's potentially actually killable. It feels like.
Do you not buy Rapier on Timber at this point?
No.
What do you mean?
You
no?
buy Rapier, but.
I think Amar's tempted.
No, that's literally no. Owen, Owen, no.
He's gonna sell his arcanes, buy Rapier.
No, never.
That's got 9k gold.
That's Ame's friend then.
Ame's friend. Let's see. Oh, yeah, okay. No, indeed, yeah. Sell boots and
why would he buy?
The other one?
Of course he's gonna go only blink.
25% spell amp. I mean, that's a lot of spell amp.
This is what we deal with, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, come on, it's 46 minutes and 4 to 17. What are you supposed to say?
So with us.
Where's the block of cheese?
It's when they need the rose showing. Oh, they need to take it away from. Wait, no, wait.
They're 100% just not going to end until. If they end before the block of cheese, we're going to have thousands of viewers bitterly disappointed.
Absolutely.
You know, if they're going to kind of, you know, take it this slow, then... Oh, Amar.
Oh, he missed.
He missed.
Doesn't matter.
Chain.
Whee! You see how fast? Oh, it's
Yeah, it's pretty
it is
fast.
so fast. Snay.
How's
Also
Arme
scaling.
Arme's nearly got his Scardy money. What's he gonna? He's gonna sell treads by Scardy? Might as well, right? Do you hold on to buyback now, or is buyback irrelevant?
It feels pretty relevant.
Especially if you pop meta, right? You pop BKB and meta. Who cares about buyback?
Feels pretty relevant. Yeah.
Get those treads sold. Get your Scardy. Would you like the Scardy, or would you actually still like him to consider something else?
I would say I wanted him to get more damage from a long time ago, but whatever. You know what? These guys know way better than I do. So
He is. Arme is a master on the Terrorblade.
Yep.
Actually, how many Terrorblade games has Arme played? I'm gonna have a look whilst we enjoy this peace and quiet. Whilst we wait for the block of cheese.
it's not going to be peace and quiet for long.
Oh.
DY.
Oh. No.
They're on him.
They get him. They get the jump in the room to take down the Phoenix. They'll get a swap in from XM to save Xingqiu. It's allowing him to back off. They're full retreat now. Arme getting caught. He's able to force back with a Hurricane Pipe. Marin's got the catch on as Xingqiu here with the Rolling Thunder. Xingqiu able to get the stolen shield crash up, but the damage comes in from Alar. Takes him out. Both support's gone. Let's see if they're going to come in with the buyback. Xingqiu has got his XXS able to put the BKB. He's trying to run the impetus. Coming to get back to the fountain. He can. XXS gets back to the fountain. Amar, he's looking to dive. He's able to dive and kill off XM. Maybe the buyback coming in from Xingqiu, but no buyback from XM.
They're trying to.
XM
Swap.
the swap.
Skitter.
He's got the setup here under the tier 4s. They have to damage to take Skitter down. They don't. Skitter on the retreat. Caught by another magic missile.
Marin's in.
XM still able to play up here, of course, with the illusion for now. Amar is in with a burst onto XXS. That's XXS gone. And he does not have buyback. He's out for 70 seconds. They'll dive in. They'll kill off Xingqiu.
They're ending it before the block of cheese, Owen.
They are disappointment all around, but I think the Falcon fans will still be happy as it looks like they're getting the win here. The tier 4s are going down.
Buyback. They're going to look to dive. They want the fountain.
I mean, they do. Marion wants... Oh, he's going to get swapped in. He doesn't care. He's too tanky. He's able to tank a few tower hits. Now they're on a turn and see if they can kill off Arme. Arme kept in the base. They won't get the chance to kill him, but they will get the chance to get the game. GG is called.